Dunskies. I need dice. Let's get dice out.
That's right. Got Brandon. He's been asleep for over 2 hours.
Good nap.
We're gonna play some game.
That thing we do every Monday?
Yeah, it's still Monday. Yeah, you've been asleep at least since I got home. Almost about 2.5 hours ago. Nice to have a medal.
Good morning.
Hello, hello.
Not much.
Just some pathfinding.
But yeah, the arena is a lot of fun.
That's good.
This will be a fun sound right next to the mic.
Well, that is fun sound. I think there are only 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies in the whole game, which is a little disappointing. But
Is that including like the helmets, the two different color dudes, and the shooty dude?
yeah. So there's the base zombie that a headshot kills them. The blue zombies, where it's 2 headshots to kill them. The blue shooters. And the
Helmets.
not head crabs.
Not head crabs.
Not head crabs. Got it.
This game was totally inspired, or at least in part, a lot of Easter eggs about Half-Life. Because the crowbar, very big part. And those are totally not head crabs.
Right. Right. Makes sense.
I totally at
I
first
mean,
was
I
kind
don't know
of
how you could even make that conclusion.
Yeah.
And there's a part where you interrupt a dance party. It's a bunch of zombies with the helmets on.
Oh yeah.
Holy
I think I saw
buckets,
you do that.
Charlie Brown.
Maybe I
That
did.
sucked.
Did it?
Well, yeah, there's 8
No, you're not playing
or
that.
so, maybe 10.
That would be
Um,
a little rough.
And then the head, the part where you usually kill them dead, there's a helmet.
Right.
Found out a nice workaround. Become a Lancer. The room before it, so they have,
Huh. That's weird.
they roll twice?
It rolled twice. Why?
That's weird. There's 2 chatbots. Now there are 2 of them.
Well, once is an anomaly. Try it again.
Well, it's actually signed into Roll20.
Did it again.
Try a different die. Like a D4 or D6, so it's a single digit. Yeah.
Did it again.
Is there
What's
two
going on?
instances? There's 2 instances of that's a little bot.
God, guys. Brock set it up this time.
So
I mean,
it's
it's a simple
it's
fix.
literally open twice. Do it again. There were 2 instances of the.
There we go.
It was just open twice.
Okay.
No worries.
Doing guys, I got you.
We're good.
We are.
This is why we do tests.
Yep. Testing things.
It's
yeah.
good.
The arena's fun when you're not in the story mode. Because in the story one, you have a sword and shield.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't like how they have you carry weapons, melee weapons.
What do you mean by that?
Where you have to hold the side buttons and the trigger.
Oh, that part, yeah.
It's just inconvenient. And for playing a game for that long, it's a game. It's awkward to hold.
Yeah, that definitely isn't ideal. That is true.
So, I'd rather not. Also, the melee weapons in that game are not great. Like, in their use. Anything, like, as long as a sword starts to get a little floppy with its weight.
Hey, what's up,
I
Seven?
know it
Yeah,
should be
you're in for the
two-handed, does a lot
last
better.
game of the decade.
Yeah, it is.
We're about to side quest it up.
Yeah.
So-
Not much. We're about to play some games.
Yeah. Just finished my Friday. I am tired.
That's fair.
My toesies hurt. But my shoulders just stopped being angry.
That's also helpful.
They just gave up.
Oh, that's
being
good.
Angry. Yeah. Yeah. Last night my shoulders were really sore, and then I did that 200-foot climb in the VR twice.
Oh,
Yeah, doing Top Golf
Why?
yesterday. My
why
my
do you
shoulder-
do
I
this?
needed to finish the goddamn game.
Yeah,
And I
doing
slipped.
the Top Golf yesterday with brother and dad and two others. My shoulder blade was not happy this morning underneath my left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was not fun this morning. Just like
That's how I feel most days. It bubbles.
Yeah.
Is it
You
emergency?
What do you have that's bubbling?
I think it was that wine stuff.
Oh, you opened it? How is it?
It's pretty good. You want to try some?
I might just sip on yours for a second. Did you guys bake them? Oh yeah, Margie
Yeah,
baked them.
Margie baked them.
Huh. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because it's a peach mango
Soda.
wine.
Peach mango soda.
Yeah, it's basically what I expected.
I guess I was expecting more of a wine.
Well,
It's
I
there.
said soda
There's
3
a little
times
bit in there.
for Mitch drank.
There's some wine in there. I can taste a little bit.
Yeah, I was expecting.
I used the
more
mango
wine.
liqueur I had with seltzer water and vodka, and it tasted very similar. It's good. It's tasty.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I can.
I
definitely
also
give it
like
that.
bubbly wine. I
That's
like
fair.
sparkling wine. I like
Yes.
bubbles to start with.
My boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
get
don't
that.
think I've had a non-expired, like non-spoiled, bubbly wine that I didn't like. Because we've gotten leftovers before, like a half a bottle
We have.
from.
Most of our wine is leftovers.
Yeah, you know.
Opened or unopened.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had some of those where you're just like, ooh. I think Barefoot makes like a sparkling wine, and that's fucking.
They make Barefoot makes a lot of stuff.
They do. They do.
I
It's
just had
not
a.
the highest quality, but that doesn't make it bad.
No, I don't need high quality.
You usually don't.
For certain alcohols, you can definitely, yes. And there are others where you're like, why would you do that?
Not a
like,
Cabernet person. It's a little
I've
too dry
had
for
a
me.
really, really bad vodka and a really, really good vodka. There's a difference.
Yes.
And depending on what you use it for,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. If you're making a mule, it doesn't matter if you're using Popov plastic bottle or the world's greatest vodka. Because ginger is an intense flavor.
Especially if there's some bitters in there. Yeah,
You're done. Like, you're not tasting whatever that clear liquid you just kind of tossed in there is.
No.
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 A vodka soda? Yes.
Yes.
Get the good stuff.
Because
if you make a-
I cannot seem to find Amara's character sheet, and the Mythweaver's website is down, so I cannot pull it up.
So then grab a d20, grab a d8, and think of a number.
think of a number.
You're just gonna pretend. Should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
That's most of what this game is.
There's
really.
not gonna be the most combat today, so that.
Well, there better be. We have all these rings to use.
Well,
Well,
yeah, and I'm
Doesn't
just.
mean there's not dice being rolled.
What do dice being rolled have to do with rings?
Oh, really? I totally misheard you. I thought it was over here.
Now we have all these
Not
fancy
listening,
rings. We have all the fancy combats.
apparently. Nah. Just not this time, apparently.
Can't wait to go kill some zombies. But yeah, the movement though. That all moving thing.
Has a cheap. That
But-
sounds like a cheap name.
Thunderbird?
No.
Or Sobieski.
So
The more Russian the name sounds, the more not Russian it is. I think the bottle we had was Sobieski, made in like Tennessee.
wouldn't surprise me too much.
Lots of good alcohols made in Tennessee.
Yeah, but
That's
just not
fair.
not Russian vodka.
Well, no, it's really hard to make Russian vodka in Tennessee.
Yeah, it
Um,
turns out.
Now, if you bring in enough Russian soil, put that down in your room, and you make vodka, you can make an argument.
So what if you just make?
What if, and if Russians made it with Russian potatoes?
So what if
Yeah.
you just get some wine and make it sparkly and call it champagne, even though it's not made in France? Is it still champagne?
Heresy.
Fair.
No, it's locally accepted as
Nope, heresy.
champagne.
I mean, locally, yes. Doesn't mean it's not heresy. Heresy can still be accepted locally as not heresy.
Well,
It
it
should
just
still be
means you
heresy.
live in a heretical area, and that's fine so long as no one who cares shows up.
That's true.
That's fair.
And usually people who are there drinking it don't care enough.
Nope.
Brock, I think you'll enjoy the quote-unquote boss fight that happens before the end part of the game. It's the big climactic thing you do. You have 4 cannons that you load with these like batteries, and you aim the cannons and shoot them at this giant sphere in the middle, and they lock in to charge it up. And every one you do, more and more bad guys show up.
Oh.
After the
Seems
first
good.
one, I was too clever about it, and it wasn't very fun. So do them slowly and in order. You'll have more fun.
There's rules
'Cause
to
I-
make other stuff.
See, this is this. See this us why whiskey is
Is why.
superior. Because
there
there are
rules?
rules to making it.
There's rules
I
to make it
mean-
all wrong.
Loose rules.
I'm sure you just haven't had the bad whiskeys, if you think that's the case.
There's bad whiskey.
'Cause some bad ones.
Yeah, there are.
There's some garbage rum, and I fucking love rum.
Yes, there's.
There
There's
are
some-
bad versions
If there's
of just
a-
about every alcohol you
Yeah.
can think of.
There's
Like,
bad versions of
they-
almost everything on the planet.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Yeah.
Think of a thing. There's a bad version of that thing somewhere on this planet.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I shot the first one and saw the bad guy spawn after you like loaded a battery in.
Mhm.
So I ran around what was just head crabs and aimed every single cannon.
Mitch, what is that sheet right there? Is that yours?
That is mine.
Okay.
It's parchment, I believe.
Why are there things?
Why aren't there things? Oh, the bracelets. They're just a little small for Mitch. He thought they might fit me better.
And these are rings. They're a little big. I really don't know how that happened.
Totally not condition
Well, I mean-
markers that you put on your figure at all. No.
Oh, does-
absolutely not.
Do they say what the condition is?
I mean, yes, but you're never going
I
to
mean,
use it for that. You just go, I remember that I put this on for that color.
Oh.
Like, because the things they are very generic. Like, blue is defense up, HP up, damage resistance up. Red is speed up, attack up, damage up. Green is poisoned, diseased, weakened. Purple is slowed, bind, obscured, or hidden. Orange is fire or illumination. And the pink one is enchanted, charmed, dazed, or stunned.
Oh, on a completely unrelated note, I watched Detective Pikachu last night.
Oh, nice.
How was it?
Fun.
I still need to watch it. I never
I
did
did
when
It
it
was
was in theaters.
on HBO. Does I have Matt's
I
account?
think I have access to that. I should have access to that.
Oh, really? He hasn't deleted it yet? Oh, he said he was going to.
Yeah.
Not yet. And I watched. That's where I watched the new remake of Hellboy, which was garbage.
Right.
That
You
I
mentioned
figured.
It's not a good replacement
For one,
actor.
It's not Ron Perlman. So
Yeah.
like,
They didn't keep. He looks too far off. They didn't even use like prosthetics to make him look like Ron Perlman's version. No. And the plot is the same plot from the first one with new characters. It's still Hellboy is going to be the king of darkness and usher in the apocalypse. But now he does it with Excalibur
Oh.
because he's the great grandson of King Arthur.
Wait, is it literally Excalibur? Oh, I thought you were just being like facetious.
Nope.
sounds good.
Yep.
Sounds like a big
so
old
the-
stretch.
The great granddaughter of King Arthur fell in love with a goat demon, and then they had a baby. It was Hellboy. And only a descendant of King Arthur can wield Excalibur and become the King of England. And then
Did Hellboy become the king of England?
Technically. They make a joke about it at the end. But when he grabs this, he goes and looks at it and sees like, hey, if I touch this, the entire world's going to be a hell. And monsters are going to rule, and the lava is going to be the rivers, and it's going to be this horrible hellscape. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And then the bad guy was like,
Do it now.
And the professor gets dead.
No.
And then he was like, rah! Sword. And the sword's on fire, and its horns grow, and the little flame crown. It's the same plot as number 1, just with its subpar. Hi, Luna. You gonna play?
Oh, are you gonna be Spencer today?
You gotta
Maybe
tell us lots
funny.
of military facts.
That's fair.
And all the puns.
All the
You're
puns.
in charge of puns today.
And I need to hear at least 3 Polish words that make my head hurt. Spencer read Polish tongue twisters last time he was over.
That's true. He did.
I didn't like them.
That's fair.
Whose clothes are those?
Who's what?
Are they your clothes?
It's my. I put water clothes in the washer in the dryer and started it, and then
Thank you.
started the washer
I started on my lunch break.
because I'm not gonna put clothes in the dryer and then not start it like an awful person.
Yeah.
I didn't realize bourbon was that picky. I also didn't realize bourbon had to be made in the U.S. to be called bourbon.
A lot of people will say that it has to be made in Tennessee to be considered bourbon.
Yeah.
So, like...
So you
I
can
mean,
take.
lots of things have those rules. Like champagne technically has to be made in a part of
Champagne.
France
Champagne.
called champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't
I
listen to
would
it.
bet money that that's not the case, but you know, whatever.
Bathtub
Champagne
gin.
doesn't, though, which is why I always
Actually,
just
a lot
call
of
it champagne.
wines. A lot of wines actually have those kind of rules about.
Oh, yeah.
And we ignore them because as
Yeah.
alcohol drinkers, we're drinking alcohol
Yeah.
to get drunk. Who gives a fuck?
Call
If
it
that's
what
what
you
you're
want.
doing, then yes.
Yeah, you
As
call
long
it
as
whatever
has
the fuck you want.
alcohol content.
I'm gonna drink it.
Bathtub gin has to be made
In a
In a
in a
bathtub.
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 Wait, it does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just gin.
Okay, fair enough.
Illegal moonshine has to be made illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, just moonshine.
Oh, it's just moonshine,
You know,
That
you
makes
can't
sense.
call it the good stuff if it's bad.
and it doesn't taste nearly as good if it's legal.
Apparently, it's not supposed to taste. So, yes.
It's supposed to taste.
What I've heard, it goes down like water that's on fire, like literal fire water. Because
The
Everclear,
base, but usually, like, you make the base and then you flavor it.
Yeah.
I'm not just straight.
Yeah, it's not, well, yeah, straight moonshine with no
Yeah.
flavor, and it's not
Yeah.
supposed to flavor. It tastes like anything. That's the thing.
It's supposed to taste like
you
air.
could argue ethanol kind of
But
has
so
Normally
to say, well,
you-
that's the difference though. Everclear has a taste and it tastes disgusting. Apparently, like bumpkin, redneck in the middle of the woods with a handmade still, making 190 proof moonshine, supposed to taste like nothing.
Yeah.
Like you took a shot of
That is
fire.
the idea.
Burns like the Dickens,
And that's
but it
one
has
of the reasons
no flavor.
why it's so popular. Like, flavored ones are so popular is that there's nothing that's going to,
Competing.
like, there's nothing competing with the taste there.
That makes
So,
sense.
like, you don't have to add too much flavoring in it to
You're not
get
lowering
the
that
flavor.
content down
So,
too far.
and that's why if you do get like super flavor, like just like special flavors of moonshine, like apple pie moonshine or
or that
like
blueberry
blueberry
flavor.
moonshine or all these sorts of things, they don't taste alcoholic, but they will kill you.
Yeah,
That's why moonshine's illegal.
I've had some homemade moonshine that is exactly what you just described. Where
Yes.
you're like,
Sucks off.
where you're like,
how?
that should be juice.
Anytime you offer somebody moonshine, you need to tell them, hey, this is what it's going to taste like, and this is what it's going to feel like in 5 minutes.
If it takes that long.
I guess that does depend on your metabolism, but like, I feel like on average, it'd probably take you about 5 minutes to feel it.
That's fair.
Something.
I'm starting to feel its effects.
I think it's starting to affect me.
I never got that.
For Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, I just thought too far into it, and I was like, why do elves have such a high fortitude? They have a negative con.
You know, when you put it that way, that's not way back. Because clearly the elves are different.
But dwarves have a bonus to con and a +2 resistance bonus on saves versus poisons.
That's why I'm saying clearly those
They're
elves are
literally
somewhat
built
different.
to drink.
I mean, that
Well-
dwarf drank like that was the case.
Yeah.
But the elf, I don't know.
Well, they're demigods. No, demigods.
That's yeah,
They're immortals.
yeah.
I also want to taste some like Tolkien elven wine. Because I imagine a glass will kill you.
Probably.
Like if they made alcohol for elves to get drunk on. Ooh.
Was that the beginning of The Hobbit? Is when they ran into the elf bender, or was that in Lord of the Ring books?
That was Lord of the Rings.
When they had a giant party?
When they ran into elves, like on
That
their way,
were having
they
a
were
giant
having-
party
yeah.
for several days.
That was the
Yeah.
Hobbit book.
Oh, was it the Hobbit book?
No, it was Lord of the Rings. I just read that part of Lord of the Rings, and I've read The Hobbit twice, and I don't remember that happening in The Hobbit.
I 100% remember that happening in the Hobbit. They got stuck for like a week just hanging out with elves. Very early part of their mission. And they had enchanted the top of their, wherever it is, to always look like it was the night
Oh,
sky.
you might be right.
And they just got, and then there was just randomly one day Gandalf was like, wait a second, I don't have a watch, but like, hadn't it been like 9 days? They're like, what are you talking about? We're still partying. Nobody's even slept. And he's like, no, but seriously, no.
Oh yeah, because I think it was the Hobbit that actually technically had a time crunch, where Lord of the Rings, because they do the beginning and then it's like X amount of years later, there isn't a time crunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had this long to get to that's why they barely made it to the mountain in time.
Just because they spent 9 days partying.
Because they
with
wasted a
bunch of
huge
elves.
time partying. Like there was no, because the goblins don't exist in the book, or at least not as a big of a detour, if they even exist at all.
The goblins definitely existed in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. The time he gets the ring, it's the same time.
Okay.
There's goblins there.
Because the pale
Oh,
orc
there's
doesn't
goblins, yeah.
exist.
No,
The pale
no.
orc, that whole plot isn't part
No,
of it.
that is definitely not a thing.
I just
but
don't.
the
I don't
goblins
think.
are.
I don't think that was as big of a time, like lengthy, as it. It wasn't as big of a detour in the book.
Well, I mean, they stretched The Hobbit over 3 movies, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
They didn't actually. I know they didn't actually do the Battle of Five Armies in the books. Bilbo was knocked out and missed the whole thing.
Which is, I
The
think.
most beautiful cop out.
I know, that's literally what I was just
It
about
was
to
a huge
say.
battle. How'd it go? I got knocked out. I missed the whole thing.
We started. A horse kicked me in the face. Something I don't remember.
But I woke up and we won.
It was a really cool fight scene, though.
There were
Yeah.
some cool things in it. Yeah.
I might just have to watch that
I
scene.
can't remember if I've actually seen the third Hobbit movie.
I haven't seen the second or
I
the
don't think
third
I
one.
have.
Oh,
I think I watched the first two.
I think the third one was the most fun.
And after
Yeah.
watching the
I mean,
second
okay,
one, I'm
the
like,
dwarves were
I don't
silly
even want
in
to
the
watch
first
the
one.
third one.
the third one was fun.
Because the second one was hot garbage.
Oh,
the
I
Was
first
that the
watched
one where Legolas was hopping up rocks?
Something like that. Legolas was in it.
Legolas did stupid stuff in
It
Hobbit.
was just
Like,
Sorry,
ridiculous.
Legolas was in the movies. I don't
Legolas
think
was being super
wasn't supposed to
Legolas
happen.
because Legolas. Like
Um,
Legolas was doing things in The Hobbit that he wasn't doing in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not in the book, The Hobbit.
All right,
I don't think so.
I have to screenshot everything that 7X says about moonshine and create the moonshine creature like Brock suggested. The legs, the hearts, the
And the
heads.
Extract the legs, toss them.
So
Keep the
heart.
hearts.
this would actually be really interesting because we like this a type of monster that doesn't exist within Pathfinder. I don't even know if D&D has it, where it's like you just start off with like this body part and then it breaks apart, opens up a new thing to be like very anime or video game esque in its battle.
Babushka.
Babushka
You,
bad
you
guy.
build the Babushka doll bad guy, and he just gets smaller and smaller and deadlier and deadlier.
That's that Russian doll, right?
Yeah, but it's a
Yeah.
Russian
Or
nesting
whatever.
doll.
Yeah.
Babushka doll.
They look like grandmas, which is Babushka.
That's a different word. 'Cause I'm pretty sure isn't Babushka grandmother?
Yeah, and the Russian nesting dolls look like grandmas, which is why they're Babushka dolls. Because they look like grandmas. Or at least classically, they look like grandmas.
Yeah, but I think there's something else. Either way,
They probably have a version of Russian nesting doll. They probably just say nesting doll in Russian.
That's fair. But we're not Russian, so we'll call it Babushka
Yeah.
dolls.
Yeah, I don't have to be anywhere quickly, so I'm not rushing around either.
Fuck off.
leave.
But go back to sleep.
But it's
No,
my house.
leave.
I say go back to sleep.
No, because then he's still here. He should leave. I will be Brandon now.
Yes! Yes! Free!
Good luck being Mitch. It's pretty awful.
Mad Gatwin.
Matryoshka dolls. There we go. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was another word for
But they're also called Matryoshka, Matrishka, Matryoshka, Babushka, Babushkas, Matrushka, Matriushkas, and Stacking Dwells. I got a lot of names.
I can tell.
So we doing this thing or what?
No,
Okay.
What thing?
That makes sense.
we are just chatting.
Oh, okay. We'll chat about something, doing some adventure or something, I guess.
Nah, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So dolls.
I got nothing. Barbie?
I would go with like a G.I. Joe or something.
So we're gonna march straight into here. And we're gonna kill a big wolf.
That's good.
Perfect.
I
I'm
actually
down.
have player character levels this time, so that should go a lot better.
Quickly looks up to see how it will work.
Warg is a 3 base?
Yeah.
So we should be able to handle him now.
Yeah, if he's just a base Warg.
He's down.
Oh, I figured.
Let's
He
go
was
handle
large
it.
size.
Let's just go
wasn't
do that.
Mm-hmm.
he? So there's that.
He was large size, and yep, we're not handling him.
Because I'm sure he wasn't just large.
No, he also wasn't. We didn't roll knowledge checks on that guy.
Well, yeah, he
I
probably didn't have knowledge arcana.
Nope.
Let's just go do that.
That's not
That's
because
not.
I know what he is.
That was your
Well, I
idea.
hope so. You made him.
I picked him. I'm gonna go back to looking at cats.
Anyway,
I'm a triple quadruple mega asshole.
we know.
Oh fuck! I'm so
I've
sorry,
often
nice
suspected
person.
this.
No, the chick from the Etsy that's doing Squee.
Mm.
She messaged me like 4 days ago.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
I never said anything back. I looked at the message and then was working, so I went back
Right.
to work.
I hate when I do
So
that.
I didn't see the notification. So, hello, Austin. I'm so sorry it took me so long. I mean, it did take her like 8, 10,
Ish.
2 weeks.
But whatever.
This is the next chunk of it. Finally finished the first draft of Squee.
Ooh, is it dope?
Yeah. I'm gonna stab it.
Papers.
Papers.
So, it is another day at the SideQuest Inc. Guild House, since according to Mitch, that is the name of our guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it work?
Oh, does it work? Oh.
What are you wanting to work?
To make a quote.
Oh, to make a quote?
Or to say a quote.
To say a quote.
I think it's this.
Oh.
Ha
I did a slash and it's an exclamation point.
Yeah, all the commands are exclamation points.
Because you have 2 quotes in there, so is it just
There's
both
3
a quote
quotes.
and quote? Oh, there's 3.
There's 3 quotes.
What's the third one?
What are the 2 you know?
Gideon's. Oh,
Well, you're
Hey.
forgetting mine. Rude.
no, I was thinking of yours. This
We
one.
did the same
and-
one.
Well, it's random.
Well, it's random and there's only 3. Like, what do you want?
yes, I
One
remember
of the other
Rocky. Or Papers. Rocky's bullshit. Papers. I don't know what the third one is.
Routine maintenance.
Routine maintenance.
Oh, routine maintenance. It was Gideon's. Okay.
Yeah.
Just got them. Okay. So, you guys are just hanging out at the guild hall. You guys have done this multiple times by now. You've had maybe a dozen or so different missions or tasks that you've picked up. We've only played through, like a third or a quarter of them because side games. So, yeah.
So after watching a bunch of Fairy Tale recently, are we like a guild hall that sits there very quietly, patiently, and civilly, or are we constantly brawling in between missions with a bunch of members who don't ever actually go on missions, just sit there in the guild hall, eat, drink, and
Oh, we're
Fight.
very orderly.
very
I
orderly?
would say it's closer to the quiet and neat.
I mean, we're thinking about it, we are a branch of basically a corporation.
Oh, yes.
We are a subsect of the giant Guild, the Adventuring Guild.
Of the SideQuest Inc. Incorporated.
Yes.
Since that is now the name of our guild. there hasn't really been anything for like a day or two for our rank. You do this.
Correct. That was mostly just a test to see how that works.
You do that.
Oh wait, it says quote number 3.
Yeah.
I
Because
thought
the first one's quote number 0.
Oh, okay.
Everything starts at 0, guys.
Yeah. You guys been hanging out. There hasn't been a good quest for you guys for a day or two. So it's been kind of boring as our Obsidian rank PCs. We are not quite yet steel ranked. But about let's say like noon to 1 o'clock, you just had some lunch, got some good grub inside of you, or some mad grub depending on what you eat, whatever. You notice that the receptionist, who I totally was just looking at the thing to tell me her name because I did not remember it, even though I made it up. Thela goes and puts up another mission on the mission board, and you notice that it's labeled for Obsidian rank. Ba-doop.
Oh,
That's
cool.
what we are.
Yeah.
What classification of mission is it?
Escort.
Escort
Okay.
is titled Protective Details.
Fucking escort mission. Is he gonna walk into a fence for 10 minutes?
Going what?
He's just gonna walk into a fence for 10 minutes because his pathing's broken.
So mechanically speaking, is someone
I
that
really hope not.
is someone that we're escorting just going to go on a predetermined straight line and stop for nothing?
You have no idea. Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll kill myself.
You took too long for this fight. They are now 100 feet that way, and they are being attacked. No. So you guys
Gets caught on a rock. Well, you triggered the giants.
catching up triggers 3 encounters at once because it walked through all of them. But no. So you find this note, which I will go ahead and read out loud. Dear worthy adventurers, I am being troubled with some of my inventory disappearing from my caravan during my travels in this region, and would like to hire some protective details to help ensure that nothing else vanishes from my caravan. I will be staying at the Inn in Keld until new guards can be acquired for this next expedition, which is a 3-day trip to the town of Strido to the southeast. Thank you for your assistance. Annie Rollis.
All right, I will take it up to the front desk. Basically, she sets it down. I pick it up, and we go, and then as she's like getting around the counter, we're coming up with it.
This one, please. I like to think that she like took her time. She pressed it out. You know, she got the
Makes it nice
thumbtacks
and you
in
make
it.
sure it's like straight and
Yeah.
just like
Laid it out in the correct area. You know, lowered down for the newbies.
To the right for escort, and
Yeah.
it's just
Fair enough. This one, wench. She's a retired 16th level character and just bitch slaps me into the apocalypse.
wait, into the apocalypse.
Yeah, I go so far into the future, I end up in a time where we are currently dealing with William Bumble's apocalypse.
Oh,
oh no,
Weird.
weird. not just the apocalypse. This one's William Bumble's apocalypse. Like we had the Robogug
I didn't
thing.
know I had one, but okay.
Well, you're getting.
I knew one was happening. I just didn't know it was mine. What an honor!
What
Getting
an
my
honor.
very own apocalypse.
I mean, to be fair, that wouldn't have an honor in a weird way. It's an apocalypse.
This isn't just the apocalypse. It's my apocalypse. And you will treat it with respect.
And you will handle it in a neat, orderly fashion. Thank you very much.
and yeah, so she rounds the corner to her desk. There we are, turning in.
Yep.
You guys did look like you were rather bored. I had a feeling it wouldn't take you too long to notice. Well, I will mark that as taken. This is the woman who requested the mission just about an hour or so ago. And I believe it says in here where you can even meet her.
That it does.
Well, good luck to you all then.
Good luck to you too. I mean, I just leave.
Well, have a good day.
Thank you. You as well.
Yeah,
And good
bye.
luck to you.
I'll certainly try.
My
I look,
head
down
is.
I look down at my ring. Like, yeah, I'll certainly try to have a nice day.
I have my head down and I'm very quickly shuffling out the door because I wish the server a good meal too.
I'm gonna slowly follow because today was such a pretty day to do nothing.
But now you can
It's
do
also
nothing on a
pretty
cart.
day to do stuff.
Trust me,
Good
if,
day to do
this is a
stuff.
great quest for someone who wants to do nothing. They can just stand in a cart.
I like that. Walking around sounds like a chore. Even these long legs, man, it's still hard.
So it's a 3-day journey. So we'll see.
3 whole days. Oh,
3-hour tour.
No,
A
3 days.
3-hour tour.
No, it's all only 3 hours.
Maybe to you it is.
Oh, okay.
Although they're only stranded 3 hours away from the mainland and they never get back.
3 hours by boat. That's pretty long distance.
What if you just made a boat and then you just went back 3 hours?
It's dangerous
Also,
waters.
The
Austin.
more important part,
Apparently.
they're on a scheduled tour. They get lost along the scheduled tour.
That makes it a little different when you point that
Oh
out.
yeah, a 3-hour tour is only.
An hour and a half there. By a boat that's not going very fast. Get the swine for it.
I hope you got some good endurance, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the swimming thing, but like
You just get a nice big log.
probably
Just-
build a sturdy enough boat to get back. Wouldn't be that hard.
That tree fell over. Push it that way.
Well, I mean, clearly what actually happened is that like a portal to an alternate dimension opened up underneath their boat.
And they ended up in a film studio and no one told them.
Yeah.
Well, they have so many just like.
Wait, no, I thought they ended up in purgatory. Oh wait, wrong show.
They have so many one-episode people just coming through the island, and they all manage to successfully get off the island.
Yeah.
But Gilligan and the other 6 never do.
Because they're actually really close. And people would just walk up and they're like, hey, you know, if you just kind of tied some of these smaller trees together, you could just
No, like people show up
paddle
and
your way up
they
there.
explain their situation, and they kind of just think they're joking, so they play along while they're there, and then they're like, "All right, goodbye, guys. Have fun with your game."
I like the concept that everybody else is just convinced that they're part of the tour. Because they're never like starving. They're never emaciated.
Right.
No one's ever, dying of thirst. They're living pretty chill life. So you get there and you're like, oh, it's a cool part of the tour. Even the tour company's just kind of convinced. They're like, I don't know when corporate put that in. That's a solid addition. Shipwreck castaways. Oh, no, we could spring for that.
No.
Spring on sea.
Alright, so we will go to the inn where Anne Rollis is.
Yeah, we'll go look for Anne.
Annie.
Annie. So,
Little Annie.
you do end up meeting
Little
this
Woman Annie.
woman. Blah.
Oh, she's a rouge.
What?
She's a human female rouge.
He means rogue. Boop.
Rayuage?
And she is there. In some nicer clothes, just kind of eating a little bit of food, having a drink. Looks like reading a book or so.
Hello, miss. Is your name Anne by chance?
Annie, but yes.
Yes. We are your guards.
Oh, that was rather fast indeed.
Aye.
Well,
Don't say we were bored. Don't say we were bored. Don't say we were bored.
We were bored.
I just didn't catch what you were saying at first.
And we saw your quest, so we figured we'd take it. Seemed right up our alley.
We had nothing better to do.
Literally. Well, I am glad that it was filled quite hastily at this greatly appreciated. Well, let me give you a rundown of the situation that my companions and I are in. We have been traveling around these parts as merchants for quite a good number of years at this point. But as of the last month, our caravan has been mysteriously robbed.
Huh.
Somehow.
Like,
Seriously robbed
Well,
somehow.
somebody
Well,
walked
so-
up.
I feel like you could have just stopped at mysteriously
Pixies.
robbed. Because that implies that you don't know how it was done.
Exactly.
So
Pixies.
why did you continue and say somehow?
Mysteriously.
Your grammar is superfluous. I'm going to need you to fix that.
That is not the point.
It's pretty sure it's the point.
Fuck the rules. Do what you want.
Nope. Rules are very important.
Rules are irrelevant. Anarchy.
now we have 4, and we've gotten the same one 3 times.
Now there are 4 of them. So how that goes? Okay.
We'll test it out. Just do quote one more time.
Ah, there we are.
Okay. I was worried. Anarchy bullshit.
Your anarchy is bullshit. Wait,
Now-
who pays you?
These are details Brock did not consider at the time when he said there were town guards, because that just makes sense to have.
Not in anarchy land.
Not in anarchy land.
Yeah, I get that now, okay? Thank you very much.
Anarchy bullshit.
Assholes. I'm never gonna. That one's never gonna get let down. I'm aware of that.
Nope.
Well, it's now a quote in our system.
Shoot, it's a part of the system.
Man, we'll be a part of your system.
So, she'll go on and continue.
Good. I was really hoping she would.
Hopefully she wastes fewer words this time.
Well, I waste words all the time, so.
As of the last month, we have noticed that as we are traveling along the road, things have been disappearing between one destination to the next. The issue is we cannot seem to figure out how it is happening.
Pixies
At
are making
first-
everything small.
At first, we assumed it could have been some sort of bandits or some other
Pixies.
lawbreakers in the area.
We
But-
literally just dealt with them.
Through traveling through different parts,
What?
through different roads.
You weren't here.
That's true, you weren't.
Oh.
No, but you are appraised of the situation. You gave us the quest.
Oh, that's
We
true.
reported back.
So you know about the Pixies.
Right. The Pixies.
The Pixies took the shipment of alcohol that you
They're a decent band, I guess.
the shipment of alcohol that you ordered
Is there a
for
band called the Pixies?
the
Yeah.
Harvest Festival.
It's a grunge band from like the 90s, I think.
But yeah, there's
Weird.
the Pixies ambushed the shipment of alcohol. So when we brought the alcohol back in, the barrels were this big, and the horse and cart was this big.
I picked up the tiny horse. It was great.
We had to just wait for that to. So yes, quite convenient to bring back, mind you. So yes, Tormund is convinced that it's Pixies again.
So she's going to continue ignoring the Pixie comment, at least until she finishes.
Pixies.
The first thought may have been bandits, but since we were traveling different roads, going from different towns to different settlements, it didn't seem to make the most sense that it could have been a consistent group of bandits. So we tried other things like changing out the guards that we had and a few other little things, but these occurrences kept happening. And oddly enough, it was never like the biggest amount of things disappearing, but it was always consistently happening.
Have you heard stories of anybody else being robbed in this way?
Yes, but not consistently like this.
Who doesn't like you?
I mean, there are other competitors, of course, other merchants that wander around, but I don't think any that would undergo it. Well, so here, because we cannot find how it's happening or when it's happening. It is never, it seems to be when we are in town or stationed at a place, because we always check our inventory when we leave, as it should be, at least up to that point.
So they get you in transit.
And then somehow, at some point before we reach the next destination, when we check our inventory again, because we are doing it very routinely now, something of someone's always goes missing.
Is there a hole in your wagon and it's falling out while you're on the road?
Well, it's not always the same wagon, so no.
Could
There could
someone
be
just sneak
holes
inside
in
and then take some
multiple
stuff and
wagons.
then leave?
What? That's what I'm questioning, because I cannot figure it out. I travel with
So-
7 other companions, and unfortunately, at this point, I'm starting to really suspect
One of
that
them
it is
stealing
one of
stuff.
them.
Put
So-
everything in a really big box and I'll sit on it for 3 days.
Alright, well, I'm gonna solve your problem then. Go ahead and fire them all, hire a new 7 people, and see if it happens again.
So here's the other thing related to that. It's a caravan. We all travel together, but that
Right.
doesn't mean we all necessarily work together.
Okay, then send them on their merry way, find another 7 people to go around with, and see if
Have
it
you
still
made the
happens.
journey alone yet?
No, it is usually safer to travel with others, and up until this last month, it has never been an issue.
Well, now you're
Have you-
traveling with us.
Have
so
you
you're gonna
told
be
your
safe.
colleagues that you're hiring additional help?
Not directly.
Good.
I have
Oh,
They
good.
don't
Some
know.
of them are gonna hate us.
Yeah.
Probably. I could probably tell you which two or 4 it will be.
Ah, yes. Go ahead
Actually-
and give me a quick rundown on all of your companions that we're going to be traveling with. I
Haha.
pull out like a journal.
I will.
It's just taking notes. What am I doing?
We'll be here for a while.
So,
Just sit down,
we have...
pull an apple out of nowhere.
It's not what I want to push.
I looked for the apple that was in my pocket a second ago.
Well, that looks like a good apple.
I don't know.
Oh, it didn't stay small when I moved it over. So, let's move her out of the way a wee bit.
Get out of there.
Whee!
So, first companion,
A little
Is a
Candy Crack
half
wheel
orc-
will be all the way home.
half-orc named Kuth Stonepalm. He is an investigator, and he has actually been traveling with me for about 3 or so years. He deals with rare stones, some simple potions, and does craft weapons of his own. He is typically more quiet and composed, and more or less just travels with us for the sake of safety, and usually stays out of trouble and kind of keeps his nose out of other people's business. You could say he's the quiet one.
Never can trust those quiet ones.
I don't know if I can trust any of them at this point, is the problem. The next companion,
Does this sword have a little hooky? Like a...
looks like it does.
Look at that cookie. It's like an urukai.
Yes, when I say show to everyone, that's show to everyone. My next companion,
Oh, that's the bad guy right there.
The little ones always are.
is
Hey.
is a gnome named Misium Willizes.
Gesundheit.
Mini
I mean,
wolves.
with a name like Wheezy's, that's clearly the bad guy.
He is
Mini
a male.
Woolizes.
Gnome Bard, bad guy.
Flute!
He is a gnome bard who has been traveling with me for about 4 to 5 years. He is, you could say the loudmouth of the group,
Weird.
who I would say is actually rather annoying. He always has drama and knows of drama that is going on. But he also is very good at attracting people, customers. So
Well, he's a bard, of course.
it's
he's good at
really
attracting
hard to
people.
argue with it.
He's charismatic in both the good way and the bad way.
Literally. So, while he is not my favorite, he is definitely worth keeping around. So, I have just dealt with it and said it's not too big of a deal. The next companion is one that I will start off saying has caused some trouble in the past.
So this guy is the red herring. He's fine.
Mhm.
He's clean.
Not the issue here.
The gnome?
No.
No, the guy that you just said has caused trouble in the past. He's clean. He's not the bad
so
guy.
she,
She's not the bad guy.
Why is Trader here?
TR8 on the
Colia
floor. And my
Lanthrio,
friend,
Lanthra,
my coworker was like, "Hey,
is a female.
Lanthira.
Is a
Took him
female rogue. She is actually you could say, newest addition to our group.
she came here about a month ago."
About a year ago. Not that new.
About a month ago.
She sells in alchemy and potions, and she has actually been caught doing some shady business that I have had to warn her to stop, otherwise she would be left behind. She hasn't, at least as openly, been doing it since, but I do have a feeling that she has not exactly stopped her dealings since then. The fourth and last merchant that travels with us is Peter.
Pettigrew?
You know, that's what actually came to mind when I picked Peter, but
Ooh.
no.
Ooh, guess who's gonna show up next time?
Gilra?
Yes, Peter
With
Gilroy.
an adamantine weapon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Peter Gilroy is a human male sorcerer. He's actually been traveling with me for about 2 to 3 years. A very charming lad, but unfortunately his confidence doesn't always reflect in how good he actually is. He is actually probably the least, I could say for sure, he's actually the least successful merchant of the 5 of us. But he actually always has a pretty good attitude and is pretty optimistic about things and
This guy's also the
keeps
bad
up
guy.
the hard work.
I would be too if I was stealing from my coworkers to make up for me sucking at my job.
And he deals with scrolls and wands primarily. Now,
He can make magic happen, and magic can steal stuff without anybody looking. Yep.
now the next,
Tricky.
the
magic.
other 3 aren't merchants specifically, but they're actually apprentice to
My cousin
some of
Grofnar
us.
doesn't like magic either.
the first one. Is actually Northil Norman.
Hey, that guy's actually in Pathfinder. Not that name, but that picture.
Northville Norman.
And he is a half-elf who's my apprentice and actually a cousin of mine. He's also a bard. He has been studying under me for, I want to say, about 3 years. He is someone who has definitely grown in his trade during his time.
These
with
two
me.
guys, they're lovers in it together.
Wrong campaign.
Nope.
But yes. The second is Kevin Faker.
And he's a faker.
Depending on who you ask, you probably would get a yes to that. And he is the apprentice to Colia. He is a rogue alchemist who definitely seems to do a decent bit of the crafting for her. And while he isn't quite as sketchy as Colia, I definitely like to keep my eye on him because I do not necessarily trust him, to be fair. But he
So
has been...
Colia is clean, but Kevin's definitely guilty.
Colia's, well,
Mm. Kevin's guilty, but not of this crime.
Oh, he's guilty of other crimes.
Yes.
Kevin has been with Colia as long as she has been here. And the last companion with us, because I have to show everyone twice, is another gnome who works with
Also guilty.
Min. So,
Wolvick.
Wolbick Fraladale at your service.
who has a rather
Guilty
similar personality to Mimsum, in the sense that she is also loud and kind of annoying, but goes well with attracting people's attention. So,
Plot twist. The person who hired us is the criminal.
It's okay, Annie. I understand. that you described most of your coworkers as annoying. Sometimes in the workplace, your coworkers are very annoying, and you just can't tell them to their face. But every single day, you wish they would just stop annoying.
I've only mentioned that to 2 of them.
Annoying, annoying, annoying.
Used to be annoying.
Used to be annoying.
No, I used to be immature. I mean, yeah. No, I
Same
didn't.
thing.
I didn't describe Peter as annoying, but not as successful as he would think himself to be.
He's shitty at his job. Annoying, annoying. Used to be annoying. Shady, shady, shady.
No, quiet.
Shady. He's in the business of selling things. If you're a quiet merchant, something's wrong.
So obviously,
But if you're a loud merchant, you're annoying. So
what we
lose,
should
lose.
do is we should only tell the rest of the company about you hiring 2 guards.
Or we're just getting free ride, or we paid for a seat.
And either we had 2 people in the wagon, or yes, they are just passengers and not guards.
So in the caravan, there are 5 wagons, and each of us has our own. Apparently, when I said there was 4 wagons, I forgot that she would have one too. So there are 5 wagons.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5. There are 5 wagons. So while that is possible, I don't know how well you would stay hidden for 3 days on a wagon. We do on the second night stop at another little town on our way, but
Oh, Austin, do you want to scroll down on the chat there? There we go.
an insurance scam. So
All those poor people throughout the fake land of whatever we called this.
Freshtopia.
No, this is not Freshtopia.
I don't think we gave the world a name, but
Freshtovia.
We have not yet.
I think that's a different world.
Fresh to death.
Okay.
The freshening.
So since you guys are already here
The Isle of
so
Mickey
quickly,
D's.
we can commence tomorrow morning as we originally were planning to, unless you would have some reason to delay. But
Nope,
I would
that is
rather
actually what I
not.
would very much prefer. As I have accepted the quest, and the quest, we said, tomorrow morning, so let's do it tomorrow morning.
Excellent.
Oops.
No dilly-dallying.
No dilly dally. So you would be the protection or the guards for us until we reach the next town.
That makes sense.
That Brock forgot the name of.
Taunton.
No,
When I
it's not
inevitably
Taunton,
make my
Why
album.
not
Otherwise.
Taunton?
because it's
I'm gonna
not
have
Strido.
Citytopia?
Strido. The town of Citiesville.
Grow as ingredients.
Ah, Citiesville. That's a good one.
The town of Townsville.
The city of Townsville.
The town of Citiesville.
Strido.
The
What's
city of
Townsville
Stateship.
from?
Powerpuff Girls.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's familiar.
That sounds right. Yeah, weird.
The city of Townsville.
Well, I guess if that is the case, I will meet you all tomorrow morning, and
I
we
also
will leave
want this
at
to be
dawn.
every character I have forever. But always. This is what I want forever. I want that to be my character in no matter
Oh.
what I build.
You can play with Fiery Pup.
Oh yeah, Pup and I get along smashingly.
Alright. I try to befriend it and keep it as a pet. The wolf stands in your path. I try to befriend it and keep it as a pet. Before you stands the demon lord
Baphomet.
Baphomet, Prince of Beasts. Aw, he's your friend and pet too. Yeah, that sounds like Austin's
I want
character.
to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
This character's doing it through strength. Be my friend. Fuck you. Be my friend. Fuck you.
Well, if there are, is anyone like to do anything before you guys leave tomorrow morning then, or anything like that?
I will go for a brisk jog and do calisthenics out in the woods. But other than that,
Oh,
nothing really.
I'm gonna talk shit with Folus, and we're gonna share a pair of rare steaks. That's what you do with your bros.
Is that your cobalt?
Yeah.
He probably enjoys talking crap.
Yeah.
And I'm going to spend the evening as I normally do, going into the library and studying everything I can about the occult and stuff, because reasons.
Because reasons.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I just gotta show Folus the finer points of being a good guy.
I'm sure Foles was like,
Good guy.
so when do we eat the gnome?
We don't. Because then we stop getting money, and then we stop getting
Commonwealth
steaks.
of Providenceville.
But we'll have gnome to eat, so we won't need steaks.
But then he'll be gone.
You
Then
always
we'll
need
need again.
steaks. Why would you never?
Then
Why
we'll
would,
get a
you,
job again.
why would you not
Yeah.
need steaks?
We'll be-
I'm confused.
We'll be killed.
Oh, that is a major setback.
And this is probably how every breakfast goes. So we eat them now. No. Go through it again. We'll get there. Don't you worry, buddy. Explain to you why you gotta behave. Follow the laws? No, they don't do that most times. But behave? Yes.
It's like, I would say the elf, but we have to find something else to go with the elf for the meal. Elves
Yeah.
are too scrawny.
Or too scrawny.
Gnomes, though. Gnomes are plump and ripe for the pickings.
Are you plump?
I don't know. I'm not a gnome.
Oh, what are you?
Halfway.
Halfling?
He's half. One half of one ling.
So how much is a ling?
That's the big question.
The biggest of questions. Alright, so apparently next morning.
Yay! So, you guys will show up, luckily before they leave. Or not, they're waiting for you.
I forgot how obnoxiously big my weapon is.
Obnoxiously big. Okay.
It's an oversized earthbreaker.
Butchering axe.
A butchering axe.
So it's an oversized weapon.
Essentially. real big. So you guys show up. And just, yes, here they are. Ladies and gentlemen, this would be our protective detail for this part of our adventure. They would be escorting us to help make sure that nothing else disappears this time. And Mimsum is the first to say, look like a nice little batch. A few nice sized boys. Point at you and I, and one, where do we find someone like you? You're... Oh gosh, if I stood on you, I couldn't even... Ooh.
Yes, he is quite large
Impressive.
and still growing.
Oh. Like a beanstalk.
Like a half giant.
Which is also related to beanstalks. I could make a song about this. What do you think? And they he kind of just keeps going on. And...
Can he be the bad guy? Please let him be the bad guy. Really need to be the bad guy.
Peter will walk up and properly introduce himself to everyone. Be very proper and
Annoying.
you probably find him annoying, yes.
Less annoying.
When he tells us that he's glad to have us on this guard detail, I will tell him that I am glad he is on this guard detail also. And then I'll leave.
Oh yeah, me too.
You've really got to stop doing that.
Not to worry, it will. And
These are so old.
are they?
You're so old.
These are from
They're getting
Aftershock 20 something.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, because Matt won the free poster,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
and then I used his same fucking instructions and got my own free posters that are signed. I don't know who's sworn in or the plot in you are, but
You
got
have signed posters.
And then it was you could pick one. I'm so mad at myself for not picking Ice 9 Kills. But that's okay. I have their faces on my wall.
That's true, you do.
Yeah, they're beautiful men.
So, the two gnomes will introduce themselves. Kuth kind of just out it, and kind of just keeps prepping his cart. And those two, if you walk up to them, well, introduce themselves, but otherwise kind of just ignore you. And then with that, they continue on their way.
Where's Anne's cart?
Ant's cart is the one in front. I'll say for simplicity's sake is in this order.
I'm gonna go sit down on the back of the cart.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look for holes in the cart.
Okay.
Don't forget to check all 5 carts.
Sorry. I'm gonna apologize to the horses in person, and then I'm gonna go sit in the cart.
So I got a 15 on the die, plus 5 ranks, plus 3 in class is 23, plus 1 or 2, so let's say 24, 25 perception.
You should probably mark down what your perception is, or what you think it is, because you'll probably use that quite a bit. But no, you do not seem
7
to
plus.
find.
What is your wisdom?
Do Slayers don't get spells.
No. So let's go with a 1, but I think I got a trait bonus, so 2
And what race are you?
elf.
So 2 more? Is it half elf?
It's half elf.
But I think I have an elven trait bonus.
So 11.
7, 8, 9,
11 if you have an elven trait bonus.
12, 10, 11, yeah. So 9 or 11.
But with that, it does look like the carts are in at least good enough condition. There doesn't seem to be any holes or anything like that in any of
that's
the
good.
carts.
I need to increase my weight.
So
Why is your character not heavy enough?
Yeah.
trying to remember where else.
My
this
character has the
is.
body of an NBA player
Torment.
right now. He needs to get a
What was
little
it?
bit bulkier.
Torment. You're asking his name, right?
Yeah.
Torment.
Tormund. That's right. So Tormund sits in Annie's cart.
How much does Braun Strowman weigh? Okay. I weigh as much as Braun Strowman now. He's the same height as Tormund.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So Parn mentions if no one else, I will go stand in the back and try to surveil everyone with my
So
beautiful perception.
385 pounds.
Plus 0. Actually,
How small is your Eidolon?
he's medium size. I'll probably be right in most of this, and he actually has a decent perception, I think.
And I'll be in the middle.
Monkey in the middle.
Oh, it's survival. I have the trait bonus too,
Oh, that makes sense.
For the trekking.
but not in forest terrains. It goes up to plus 2 though, so 10 perception is what we said.
No, it was a 9.
Oh, 9? Okay.
Well, 4 for ranks, 3 for in class is 7. 1 from wisdom is 8, and 1 from trade is 9.
Okay, 9.
So, how do the other two then decide to? What do you decide to be, or what you decide to do while you guys are traveling? He's gonna hang out in that cart.
I could be scouting around the wagons ahead of, looking for things that are coming towards the wagons or leaving the wagons, tracks and whatnot.
Seems good.
Oops.
If it is bandits,
I
then
want to be in the middle.
He's gonna be in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's in the front, I'm in the back, you're in the middle, and you're wandering around looking for other things in the area.
I'm not
Yeah.
wandering. I'm specifically doing things.
Yes.
Plus, it
Yeah.
also allows me to avoid any more embarrassing social interactions.
So those are the best kind of interactions to have, aren't they?
Oh, great. I just realized I'm in Mimsum's cart.
If you are in the cart, then yes, you are in the cart. You realize pretty quickly they are rather talkative.
Oh, boy.
Why'd you pick Mimsum's cart?
'Cause it was the middle cart.
Ooh, that's a lot of extra. Sorry, I hit the out of all my
Why did you choose Peter's cart?
I'm actually not gonna always be in the cart, but I probably will at some point.
Because it was the last one.
I just went to the back, but yeah. And he did say middle, and I realized which one's the middle one.
I'm sure Colia wouldn't allow us in her card.
But that's okay, because she's fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's not. The problem is someone could be stealing from Colia because she's clearly one of the victims here, not.
Everyone
So,
has been reported to have had stuff stolen.
Well, of course, it
At some
seems
point.
shady if you didn't have stuff
It's
stolen.
like weird. All 4 of your cards have been stolen from, and we should really look into who's doing that. Weird.
Oh no, that would have been the greatest ploy. Is you as the thief steal your, jack some of your own stuff and toss it off, but you leave one of the caravan members alone. Put all suspicious on them.
Super sus.
Plot twist.
But yeah, with all my gear, so when I sit down on that cart, there's an extra 600 pounds.
It's a good thing these are decent wagons that are securing a decent bit of weight.
That's why I apologize to the horses. My weapon weighs as much as my armor.
Oh my god.
I wear full plate.
It's a big ass axe.
Yep.
How tall do you think your axe is?
About 6 foot something.
6 foot. Not that you hold it at the end, but it's just that big. It's just like, huh.
Like even with all my gear, I'm still like a reasonably weighted, like package or something.
Package.
I'm
Yeah.
like 40 pounds.
But yeah, if Hathor Bjornsson picked up an axe made for someone twice as big as Hathor Bjornsson.
I mean, yeah, I'm like 40 pounds too. But that's also because I weigh over 30 pounds.
I weigh 30.
I weigh
Right,
385.
It's a lot.
Oh, I did specifically want to lowball his weight before he started training. That way he could actually like go from being this, skinnier farm boy
Hmm.
to being an actual like ripped dude.
Beefcake.
Mm-hmm. And really grow into himself. But then I realized that he's like scary thin. He's awkward NBA player thin. Oh, actually, good NBA player. But good NBA players can't pick up like a 7 foot long axe, a 50-pound axe.
Probably not.
Not conveniently.
Not swinging around. They
That part
use-
they definitely can't
They
do.
can't use.
They
50-pound
can pick up.
axe.
They're in pretty good shape, but
They're in damn good shape, but just the
Yeah.
different, wrong kind of shape.
like I could pick up a 50-pound axe. I ain't swinging that thing around at all.
That would suck.
I could pick it up though. Probably be more like that, yeah. Especially
Because all the weight's gonna be on one side.
yeah, that'd be the worst part about it.
The butchering axe is wicked looking too.
That's true, it is. So, you guys are traveling. You guys go for at least a handful of hours or so. Nothing really seems to be happening. You don't really seem to find any tracks. There's nothing off to the road. You definitely tell the road is traveled enough to see things. But it is actually maybe you guys left like 8 o'clock or so in the morning.
Stop it.
It's probably about midday or so.
Yawning.
Wrong
When
yawning.
Not loud.
Oh, okay.
when you'll actually notice a separate caravan coming
should
from the
trash
opposite
cans
direction.
I'll be home an hour enough for us to
Okay.
hang out. You were asleep when I said it. Party starts at 5.
Oh.
I won't stay there for 7 hours, and Marjorie's not going.
That's fair.
She doesn't feel antisocial, so.
So you guys actually come across a random.
So I'd have warned them about the wagon long before I got there. I'm scouting.
Well, was it looking like something to actually be worried about, or was it just another wagon?
Everything is worry-worthy.
We're on protection detail. Everything's worried.
I will
If
keep
there's
that in
so
mind.
much as a squirrel on the road.
If the squirrel looked
There
at
has
us,
been
at
at
the-
least a squirrel.
if
on
this
the road.
if there's a
I
squirrel
come
that
back.
stares at the caravan for a suspiciously long time, she's just gonna put an arrow in it, just to be safe.
Do you just kill the squirrel on sight?
If it's looking sus, do I need to roll a sense motive?
Yes, what always sense more for
No,
the
just
squirrel.
Just assume
I
it's
don't
sus.
think I had any ranks in sense
I
motive.
doubt
so
you do.
We just had 1 for wisdom. 12.
Ooh,
Super
You don't
sus.
like that squirrel.
kill him.
I kill him and then I feed it to the kobold.
Yeah, because of course the kobold be with us. Why wouldn't he be?
I'm
He's
like,
attached to me.
I'm like,
Yeah,
you're a flame.
literally.
I'm like, you're a flame kobold.
Literally
You could
and
cook this.
figuratively.
And he goes, home.
he says as you're calling, or I could eat it. Oh,
Good boy.
good boy.
Kobolds are, after doing some research, they're literally designed to follow bigger, stronger things.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
after a while, he kind of got used to following a bigger, stronger thing.
He just had to accept that he is no longer the biggest
Yeah.
or the strongest, which
We had to arm wrestle. Then we had to wrestle. Then he tried to light me on fire. And then I broke his nose.
because he
now
probably
we're-
did light you on fire, and then you had to. Bop him.
And then now we're here. And he's a good boy.
But for
Started with a fire. Now we're
Tormund, that's just like flicking a dog in the nose, but just.
I mean, if you've seen Braun Strowman, imagine him punching you in the face. He is going to be my real-world example for this 16-year-old character that I'm playing.
Oh gosh.
I'm just your average 16-year-old high schooler.
What's the fucking name of the guy from Dr. Stone? I'm him now.
Oh,
The villain.
Yeah.
He's 18 and he's like 6'4" and fucking ripped.
He looks like 28.
He kicked the head off a statue, the people that get petrified, and it fucking explodes.
like you look. I could
He fought-
probably believe early 20s.
I think he went hand-to-hand combat against the lions.
Yeah.
And killed 3 of them.
Lions.
He snapped one of their necks,
Speaking
and
of,
then he.
are you caught up in Doctor Stone?
No.
Oh, it's
no.
so good.
I haven't watched my TV show since we talked.
Where'd you get to?
I'll check for you.
Okay.
But fuck.
Anyways, so
I'm checking.
Boom, boom.
so the car approaches, and she kind of like definitely eyeballing it first. Like that looks familiar.
I mean, it's a wagon, so I'd imagine
Boom,
so.
boom.
Well, like kind of like the shape and so you can tell his little flag. It gets close. Says, I know who that is. That is not a concern. In fact, that means a stop. Actually,
That sounds concerning.
it's another merchant who travels around who always has good
I am
wares for trade
so far
and is
behind.
always willing to bargain and negotiate.
Watched episode 7.
Oh,
He's 23.
Oh wow.
oh, you are very behind. You're like the most behind.
They
No,
found the
I
village.
watched 3 episodes.
They found the village with real people in it.
Yeah. Wow. It was such a long time ago.
Well,
They've done so
7.
much since then.
So many
Yeah, it's like
shows to
4
catch up.
months ago.
I had to watch The Expanse, okay?
So
there
did
was
I.
ads for it.
I also had to watch The Expanse,
A lot.
which I'm caught up on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
I
was-
do want to watch that show.
I also had to
just
watch
don't
The
TV shows
Mandalorian.
very often.
Oh,
Watched
yeah.
The Mandalorian.
Steal Jason's account.
I watched
I just want to watch The Mandalorian.
all of Haikyuu until the next
How?
Haikyuu stuff comes out. Super good.
Yeah?
Watch it.
Okay.
I still need to watch the 2 movies
Okay.
that are there, but Haikyuu's amazing.
So that's the name that keeps popping up.
It made me really want to play volleyball.
Yeah.
It really
So,
did.
I will be
I'd probably get that vibe pretty hard if I watched it.
specifically keeping my eye out as we are now into buying and selling from this caravan for where all of our 8 people and how many do they have and where are their people.
So he has a
That's a road.
a double wagon as he pulls up with 3 horses pulling it, and he is a. What's that cat doing?
Climbing.
Kitty. At least you're small.
And Marty's new cat.
Oh, it's
Nice.
Margie's new kitty. Oh. And he has 3 that work with him, so it's 4 in total. But she mentions to everyone else that he is approaching and who all would be interested. Peter and Kuth mentioned that they are for sure interested. Mizium, Kolia is kind of like indifferent, and Mizium doesn't like the idea of stopping, but doesn't want to wander off on his own, so he kind of just deals with it. So you end up stopping, pulling over. They make pleasantries for a moment and then get to business. And so it's primarily the 3 of them doing trade, while the other 5 are kind of just waiting, taking a break, giving the horses a breather.
This is where we're going to keep the heaviest eye on the stuff.
Yes, that's why I'm keeping an eye on where everyone is.
This new merchant is sketch. The fact that some of these people aren't interested in the new merchant is sketch.
Well, it's not a new merchant. They've ran into this guy before, but
Well, yeah, to them it's not a new merchant. Or to me, they're still the new merchant.
okay, that's fair.
These are all the old merchants. So who isn't interested?
Those 4.
Guilty. I told you already.
So you're in their wagon, right?
Yeah.
So so he is definitely literally sitting like right next to you, like same thing of like, I don't like this. Just gonna sit here and stare at my stuff. She's kind of like walking around, like you can tell she's trying to be sneaky, but she's not very sneaky. Like looking around, like watching things, like the little
Sketch.
I'm
Alright.
sitting in
like for Bard.
ants.
Apparently, she can't whistle very well.
She doesn't have perform bard.
But she's not
It
whistle.
was
That's why I'm
in
whistling.
No, she doesn't have perform bard.
it was in 2nd edition that to be a halfling bard, you had to specifically be a whistler.
Gosh, 2nd edition was so weird.
Second edition was too specific.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Oh,
you
first
could only
edition.
be an evocation wizard if you were human.
Yeah, and it was,
Con 16.
and I don't remember how many levels in bard the whistler could take because the different
They capped
races
that
could
stuff.
only go so high.
So silly.
Yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't 1st edition where you needed X amount of levels in wizard, rogue, and fighter to unlock the bard.
Wasn't there also like? Didn't you also need like druid or something? Something silly. I remember there being some sort of weird other spellcasting class you
Oh.
needed to be a bard in 1st edition.
Maybe because Cure Light.
Oh gosh.
You had to have Cure Light wounds from somewhere.
Anyways.
1st and 2nd editions of D&D. So glad we're not there anymore.
Anyways, yeah. So those 2, that's what they're doing. Colia and Kevin are kind of just in their cart, kind of closed. Like every once in a while, they kind of like poke out and like be out for a moment, but then kind of just like go back into the car and kind of just isolate themselves.
So
you could
you're
say.
in Peter's cart, and Peter's not there. Where is your Eidolon right now?
Eidolon will be with me.
Okay. So
I'm in
Eidolon
Ant's
see
cart.
things better than I do.
I will designate her as my study target for the +1 bonus to perception checks.
Oh, okay. Oops. It's like, why are you gonna attack her?
No, I get bonuses to skills.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just rolled a 13 perception for whatever I'm about to do. I'm gonna make another drink now.
And
It's a
then
good idea.
My insides.
I'm keeping my eye on her, but also like their cards and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
just trying to keep an eye on everything, but especially her since she seems sus.
I'm gonna kind of sprawl out as much as possible, by the way.
That's primarily what I'm doing. Is I'm kind of just watching everyone.
Oh,
trying-
I mean, like, I'm literally going to, like, put my axe in the wagon on top of their goods.
Oh.
Kind of lean back on stuff. Just
Oh,
kind
that's
of
what you mean by sprawl.
literally sprawl out, because my stuff's heavy, and if you try to move it, I'll know.
Northville will walk up, like, excuse me, we need something in there.
Yeah.
Your
Now?
weapon. Yes, I'm making a trade. Thank you.
The thing about prestige classes in 5e is because all their base classes have like different paths that they go down. It's kind of weird adding prestige classes onto that. It was the same with 4th edition too.
Well, 4th edition was built to go into a prestige class for sure at 10th level.
Well, they weren't prestige classes. They were
They were
a
called
different
prestige
tier
classes.
of classes.
Well, yeah, it was 10th level. You hit your prestige.
Wasn't
and
it
then
Paragon
20
and Epic?
It was, you could...
What's it called, Paragon?
Yeah, it was
You
called
go into your Paragon, yeah.
Oh, Paragon, then Epic.
Your epic... It was your Paragon, is your path, and then it's your epic destiny, basically.
Yeah, but they were like they basically were your prestige
you could
class,
just
which is
ignore
second
it.
sort of specialization.
Yeah, you could ignore it and just be dumb.
Yeah.
Maybe we want Jello?
Kinda, yeah.
3rd edition's where they introduced prestige classes.
Yeah.
Mitch, I only have a little.
It's
so I don't
just
know if we can share.
they had the most ridiculous requirements.
I think we can make it work.
So
You take half, I take half.
Listen, show it to Joel first.
No. I almost had vomit in public once.
I'm aware.
Rock, can you
Or
hand me
even.
the Chrome book?
Yeah, sure.
I almost made they pollywog vomit in public.
I believe that. I wasn't plugged in, so I don't know how you're gonna do on that.
It was the same instance for both.
Yeah, I've heard. When I was hanging out with Joel and Ashley last Sunday for a little bit, that came up
Hey!
somehow. It was like, I remember hearing about this. It was when you had Sizzlers, right?
Yeah.
You just the pudding. It was like a minute long.
Yeah, I just walked up
Yeah.
like
So-
Parkinson's status.
So, first edition, the Path of the Bard. Unlike most other classes, a Bard player character does not start his career as a Bard. A character that meets the prerequisites and wishes to become a Bard first gains levels as a fighter. Once he has reached at least 5 levels, but no more than 7, he can become a thief and is becoming a dual cast character. After becoming a thief, he may advance at least 5th level and no more than 8th level. After this, he undergoes druidic training and finally becomes a Bard.
So you literally can't be Bard till like 12th level.
Also, the attribute requirements for Bard.
Oh, please.
15 strength, 12 int, 15 wisdom, 15 dex, 10 con, 15 charisma. You needed all those stats to be
At
that
least.
or higher to be a Bard.
Was Bard good?
I
I
hope
don't
so.
think so.
No, because Bard in second edition sucks.
I think it was awful,
I
from
mean,
what I understand.
they get the wizard spell list, which is pretty dope.
But only up to so high.
Well, they don't get all 9 levels, but
Yeah. In second edition, you only need a 16 dex and 16 charisma to be a
Oh,
Bard.
and only humans and half-elves could be Bards.
Yeah. Until they made the Bard handbook in second edition, it was the same thing. But then, like, dwarf, halfling, and gnome, and maybe even elf also got their one type of very specific Bard, and it can only go to so high of a level.
And they have to be some kind of neutral. Lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, neutral good, or neutral evil. Or true neutral.
yeah.
So good.
All right, so other than Nothil trying to get into his chest, is anything else happening?
Everyone roll me perception to see if you notice or find anything.
So we said 9, so 20 or 21.
I got a 13.
18.
So let's start with Austin's character. As you are there,
Tormund Giantsbane, son of Tormund Giantsbane.
Tormund. Why can't I not remember Tormund? I'm just gonna freaking write it down over here. Hey,
I'm gonna need some Jello.
hey, guess what your name is? You are Tormund. There we go. As Tormund is watching, primarily you see more Northil, sometimes Annie, as mostly he's the one grabbing stuff for her. You do notice that he's actually like kind of nervous, a little, which you kind of stands out to you. But beyond that, there's nothing weird. Beyond that, you'll probably watch for like an hour. They definitely do some trade. He brings some stuff, gets a few things.
Sense motive of 16.
He
What's up with that whole nervousness, boy?
You're not sure if he's kind of like nervous of the merchants. You don't think he's like nervous of you. He just kind of seems at unease.
Everything okay?
Well, yes, why wouldn't it be?
Because you look like you're gonna shit yourself.
It has been a stressful month, and I guess you could say become a little more cautious.
Uh-huh.
Right. And he just keeps doing what he was doing. You were watching the female gnome.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you said 20?
21.
21?
20 for everything else.
That's what I said, 20, 21. She seems to definitely be like eyeballing up you even a little bit as you're watching her, and like others. You notice that she actually kind of goes and pokes up at Kolia's tent, like, "You still in here?" And like the third time she does it, she actually gets something like thrown at her. She's like, "Well, that was rude. Have it back though. I don't want to be accused of taking it."
Well, at least
Kind
it
of
wasn't some alchemical concoction that would knock her out.
Luckily, no.
That'd be funny though.
Actually, would be hella funny. I should have thought of that.
Well,
But-
look how you feel.
I feel great.
They're mostly just kind of sticking to themselves, kind of like keeping an eye on their things. You can definitely tell, though, from you guys' interactions with people that they're all kind of starting to suspect each other. Just like how Annie kind of mentioned she has at the beginning. Which,
Is it Annie or is it Anne?
Annie.
Annie.
Okay.
It is Annie.
Should be an I in there, but
Shoot there?
That's how you spell Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Anne, how you feel?
I feel great.
I'm good.
And he said you could really spell it names however you damn well want. So
Yeah,
that's
their
fair.
names.
It is Annie. When I spelt it how it traditionally is spelt is a different story.
Like common names like Absidy.
good old biblical names.
I did that one at work. Wrote it on the board.
No, it's a name.
Mhm.
No, that's A-B-C-D-E. Yeah, absolutely.
Also Forest. S-S-S-S-T. Forest.
I hate you so much.
There are so many bad names like that. It's great.
Oh my gosh, that hurt me.
Is what happens when you try to give a kid a cool name.
And someone is literally named that.
Yep.
It was a teacher on TikTok. She was sharing names of kids that she's had in her class.
Alright, continue on with this.
I feel quite.
I forget what exactly you were doing.
He's in Mizm's cart.
Yeah, I'm in Mimsum.
Oh, you are in Mizm's tent. Okay. That's right.
Mimsum.
Mimsum definitely is making some small talk with you. Like a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Like he's trying to distract me.
Yes.
That roll me sense motive.
Entirely possible.
Fires.
Mimsum, how you feel? What's funny you should ask. Actually, they've been telling me all day.
So that's a 14 on the die. 12.
Right, high hopes for that. Alright. You're not entirely sure if he is trying to distract you. or
I've seen
not.
that as Ladasha.
Yeah, I've seen
But-
Ladasha.
Oh, Ladasha, yeah. You're not sure if he actually is trying to just make conversation or if he's trying to distract you or just kind of like gain a feel for what's going on.
This
Or
is clearly a distraction.
Yep.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, so he kind of just ends up distracting you with that.
Okay.
What was your perception?
I only got a 17.
You do notice that he is still trying to be aware of the surroundings, though.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not
Like a
distracted
good
himself.
thief, just like a good thief will. He wants to make sure that no one's on his trail.
That's fair. And I will mention that with Flap's perception of 14, not my 4. No one seemed to have been like wandering around or acting suspicious. Like the people at the other car were just doing their business, all 4 of them. So seems like the coast was clear on this one, at least on my end. But that ends up taking closer to an hour or so. They say their pleasantries and then go on their way. And how's that?
Mm-hmm.
Nice little stop, depending on who you ask, or a terrible waste of time, depending on who you ask. But as it goes, that seems to be the only thing that really happens on the first day of traveling. And as the sun goes down, they find a spot off on the side of the road. And he mentions that they usually end up having to camp somewhere in this vicinity on this route.
Mhm.
Because to make it to the next town always is 2-day travel. So they have rations and stuff. Kuth goes ahead and sets up a little trap and finds some sort of creature to munch on if he can. And after that, fire and everything. And it's like, well, we definitely need to make sure people are watching at night. I'm sure I can trust you four to at least primarily handle that in some fashion.
Oh, for sure.
Excellent.
It is our job. We will never rest.
Well, at least get
What?
some.
No, I'm going to bed.
Oh no, we're definitely getting sleep. As things happening.
Yeah, worked really hard today.
I'm not about to hold myself to that.
Brock is gonna make sure there's a.
We'll get
fifth
an amount of
wagon
sleep,
here.
probably.
Yeah, there's a fifth wagon.
5 wagons? What?
Well, yeah. For some reason, I thought there was only 4, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a fifth wagon. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if 3 of us are sitting in wagons, you're in the last, I'm in the first. He's literally in the middle wagon. It makes it easy.
So, how are we going to split up guard duties among the 4 of us?
So I don't have spells, so
I call first watch.
I'm willing to sleep during the first watch, and then be pretty much awake, and I can sleep like in the morning as we start traveling on a wagon to try to catch up on sleep.
So first, second, third, fourth.
Cool.
But I'm mainly going to be awake after my watch is done.
And I'm going to go to bed early. So by the
That's
time I
fair.
have to go on watch, I've already gotten my beauty sleep. Yeah, you can't keep a beautiful visage like this without getting those 8 hours.
Of course not.
Yeah, I'm not quite as hobo-esque as Spencer's Ranger, but I'm not too far off.
A literal hobo.
I forgot about that. Yeah. Hey, look, now there's 5 wagons like there was supposed to be.
It's weird they wouldn't, do like a wagon ring or something.
Yeah, I was kind of, when I was saying that, I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, how you would actually set that up, because in one way they kind of want all this stuff to be facing the same direction, so it'd be easier to see, but at the same time, a wagon wheel. So I guess at this point, how would you guys give your input as to doing this, being the protective?
Wagon ring.
I would give no
defensible.
input. These are the professionals. I trust them to do their job. They should trust me to do my job.
I've read on this subject extensively, and I in my readings, I've heard that putting them
So-
in a ring.
She will mention that she would like some input because it is details like this that they often do not agree on. So at least some direction from someone would be appreciated, as they kind of sometimes want to do their own thing, but that makes it even worse. At least should all be together.
Ring makes it the most defensible.
Mm-hmm.
So ring.
Ring.
I don't care.
Is that okay?
Well, so if this is like the tail end of it, you want all of these pointing in towards the campfire? If this is the tail end, you want them all pointing in towards the campfire?
Oh, is that so? That is what you mean by ring.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what I meant by ring.
Oh,
No.
did you mean this?
More or less, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Usually, a caravan will then just make a circle.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
But-
they can just march back out of that circle and go on the merry way.
Mhm.
So they're usually all in the line to follow one another. So
Stop being difficult. You guys should be
they're
facing-
facing like some of them are facing the wrong way.
Yeah,
but that's
I realized
semantics.
as I did that. But yeah, kind of
As far as like being in things on a map, mechanically they're still the same way.
Horses can go over here. 4 or so. Yay, horsies. Horsey. So, simply put 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay. So you guys get all settled in, figure that out. Boom, make sure carts are put in a more reasonable order. Lots of trees, a little bit of rocks and stuff off on the side of the road.
Before we set down for camp, I do want to look to see if there are any fresher looking tracks.
Okay.
That's a 19 on the die, so my survival is going to be 10, so 29.
So you find a few critters that are typical to find in the wilderness. You do not find anything that implies humanoids or wagons or anything like that in this area.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's what you were looking for, information-wise. Yeah. So, Parchment. During, it's like, I almost called you Par. It's like, I'm Par.
What?
It's like, I'm Par.
No, it's William.
William.
Shoot, Parchment's
William Bumble.
I ain't spoken like this once tonight. I don't know how you messed it up.
Yeah, I know you messed it up.
What was your character's name?
Amara.
Not the barbarian.
Ha. See what you did there.
I don't.
The Pathfinder
You
iconic.
obviously haven't played Kingmaker, sir.
Well,
You said that before, yeah.
she's just the
I was
Pathfinder
definitely
iconic.
Not
Barbarian.
King.
That's right, your point.
That is her name. They use the iconics in the Kingmaker.
Yeah, you have a point.
The iconics are pretty cool.
King Makar, the guy who turns things into gold
No.
when you untap them.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that real?
It's a magic card, yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4-mana 2/3.
Black.
Black. Whenever it untaps, you exile a target creature, and the creature's owner gets a gold token.
That you can sack from every color. Yeah.
He's super cool.
King Makar the Gold Cursed.
Yeah. I had him in Fenix.
That's fair. Yeah.
Give him
So bad.
an easy way to tap him, and then
Why?
I've also seen scary commander decks built around him.
You even build a commander deck around that would be silly.
Where you just give
Abuse
him...
ways to untap things. And
Yeah.
Buy your creatures. This is me tapping and tapping. This is also me
You just
waving
in
goodbye
the
to
fiction,
your
you're like
creatures.
frolicking through the battlefield, just like... boop, boop, boop.
There are just ways to untap creatures, and also the deck is made to like turn it into an artifact. And once it's an artifact, there's like a bajillion and one ways to untap it.
Oh, that's fair.
Untap target artifact forever.
Yep.
Anyways, so it'll actually be during William's shift during the first quarter of the evening of the night. At this point, the fire would still give enough light to provide some warmth, and so you can definitely see all the wagons and everything. But as you are up and about,
I think Spencer woke up.
I think Spencer just woke up.
hey, dispensers wake up.
Mhm.
What?
Give me a perception check, sir.
Spencer's still in Poland.
Oh,
Yeah, I
did
know.
we not tell you Matt wants to schedule one shot for Tuesday the 14th?
He specifically
Yeah.
said you were 100% invited. He just doesn't have your phone number.
Well, fair enough.
We were
I
going to
remember
tell
you
you
talking about it already in like the
group checks and
group
stuff.
text or something.
But he just sent out a text to
Everybody had the phone number stuff.
everyone
Fair
had the
enough.
phone number for.
Yeah. Give me a perception check, sir.
Was
As
he
you are-
first watch?
Yes.
Oh, darn.
So I've been asleep for 3 or 4 hours.
Got it. 12.
Well, the rogue with invisibility on did not see them. or did you see the pixie who just stole a cart?
Like a whole cart.
Like a whole ass cart. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
So, to hear the sounds of battle is a perception DC at -10. But being asleep gives you a +20. So it's a DC 10 to hear the sounds of battle while you're asleep.
That's it?
To hear the sounds of battle.
Well, I guess that's fair, yeah.
Now I'm talking about not the TV being on too loud, like 2 or more people trying to kill each other.
Yeah, I guess that would be pretty loud.
But also,
Also, because that would
how
also
many
be
of
pretty
us
close.
can fail that? I had 1. You had negative.
7.
Oh, you
Oh.
actually have perception.
You meant in real life. Okay, never mind.
Oh.
My character can't fail it.
Yeah, I put all the ranks into perception. So
Yeah,
I can
I
perceive
had
things.
1.
Parn can definitely make that, but I mean, Flap can make that. Parn is a
Flap's
hard
gone.
one.
You're asleep.
Oh.
You went to sleep.
You're right. Forget about that detail, because he's not
It's
an actual animal companion.
incredibly relevant, though.
It's a minute to summon your Eidolon, I believe.
Yeah, it makes you very vulnerable as a character while you're sleeping,
As a caster.
because half your class is gone,
Yeah.
and it can't be brought back reasonably in battle.
No.
Also,
You're-
have you touched the fucking cores beast?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're
Yes.
actually picking at.
Yeah. They're freaking dangerous, man.
I was telling my guys at work that I got two new sets of metal dice, and that I think the week before that I had stepped on 2 D4s in the same night that were plastic,
Ooh.
and I was thinking the gods they were plastic.
Yeah. These are literal weapons.
Yeah. I wonder what the one Spolino gave me. Put them on the
So-
table.
You do hear a little bit of a rustle
I'll go look.
about over here. Like maybe
Okay.
in those bushes or so.
Okay. In case the fight breaks out.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay.
Okay. No.
You just can't wander over there.
Yep.
Not really saying anything, just quietly.
Mhm.
Are you like rolling a stealth or?
Nope.
Okay,
I'm not being stealthy.
that's fair.
And I am like every once in a while glancing back at the cart I just left in case this is some sort of sneaky diversion.
That's fair. You seem to think a lot of things are diversions.
Yeah, you just got told that there's a mystery thief. Everything is suspect.
Mm-hmm. You walk over there and kind of like look through the bush. Roll me sense motive. I mean, not sense motive, but perception. Sense motive of the bush.
Well, that's a 20. Perception on the bush.
Much better.
It's leafy.
As you kind of walk
Really,
over
though.
and kind of like look at it, you definitely notice and you heard, and you basically see someone like darting into this bush over here.
Well, I'll go follow them into that bush. And be like, hey, you scallywag, you're back here.
Hey, you scallywag!
How dare you be trying to steal
Oh,
things
who printed
from
that for
this
you?
camp?
My sister bought it.
Nice.
Oh,
I've seen those.
that's awesome.
Super cool.
A dice that stores your dice.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Luna.
Uh-oh. Our one true villain's here. He must be orchestrating the attack in our camp.
Oh, clearly.
Sup?
It's perfect timing.
So, go ahead and put yourself on the board like here or so, wherever you would be standing.
Oh, I already rolled my perception check. If anything goes down, and I'm gonna go pee.
That's fair. You notice someone pops up and pew, with a little bow.
A little bow?
Oh, with a bow. I mean, it is a short bow. What?
Short bow.
Not short bow.
So I only need to roll a 45 plus enough modifiers for distance to hear a bow being drawn while I'm asleep. So I'm going to make that roll.
gonna say you failed.
That's very.
Oh shoot!
Hot diggity damn.
We were not prepared for this.
We should have been.
Oh,
This is our one true villain. We really ought to be more prepared for this guy.
that's a good point, actually. Well, I don't think an 11 hits you.
Nope. That's off by 9.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Shoot, gotta brace myself.
Consider me braced.
Who are you bracing on?
The floor.
But you just got shot out with a bow.
Okay. Like,
Goodness.
hold on. No need to shoot me with bow. Besides, shoot me once in a bow, I'll just heal it, and it doesn't solve your problem. Why are you here? Huh? Are you actually a thief?
Brock was not anticipating this to be how that went down.
First, I was just worried you were a thief, but now that you fired an arrow at me, I feel like you might actually be a thief.
Oh, we do have dinner on this table.
At least I do, and breakfast. Put like a little leaf over the
This
TV
is-
screen, so it's a big flat table.
This is our dining room.
Not a basement.
We just put a
Piece of wood over the top.
that makes it a big table again.
Yeah, we insert a leaf. Like Park said.
Big old leaf.
One leaf.
A bay leaf.
At that point, you definitely hear what sounds like coming from him, like a decently loud, but like a sort of chirp. 2 chirps. Brock can't replicate that, so I'm not gonna try.
Sure,
That's
sure.
fair.
Chirp, chirp.
So,
Um,
did you say that creature making the check as asleep was a 20? Because I thought because it says
And he
here
kind of like goes to the
Oh.
bush, and it looks like he was going that direction a little bit.
So then it's
it's a 0
I'm
to hear
going
the
to
noise of
follow
battle.
him.
Also.
cool. Then nobody can fail it unless you have a higher than a -1. Wisdom. So sleep's only a 10 now.
DC 10.
It's only a +10 to the DC.
Oh. Huh. So it's a DC 0 to hear combat.
Yes, if it while asleep.
3 of us are roommates.
Yes.
What are distance modifiers on perception?
+1 for every 10 feet.
For every 10 feet? Oh, okay. So you're gonna find out here.
Important though.
I
Yeah.
could still fail.
Whose cart is whose?
I'll say first, second, third, fourth, fifth,
Yeah, that.
for simplicity's sake.
Okay, so my DC's like gonna be a 0 or a 1.
Oh, if you're staying in the cart.
I'm asleep in the cart to
I
roll it
figured I'd
if
be-
they end up fighting.
Figure it'd just be over
and I'm gonna
the floor. I like fire.
probably like knock on the side of this cart and then go follow.
In another country.
On another continent, across an ocean.
In the land of poles. The North Pole. He's in Antarctica.
He went to go visit Santa.
But yeah, he's on a family vacation out of the country. Hence, Side Quest Incorporated.
Yeah. Our backup game. No matter what game. So yeah, knock on that cart, which is Annie's
No.
cart and Tormund's
I'm
cart.
not rolling those again.
And then what?
Did you roll all bad?
It was double 5s and the double 3s, and I don't like that. Juju.
I just rolled double 1s.
Hold on.
So if
I
you
gotta,
sleep
I
as a
gotta
plus
break
10.
the cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knocks on the door. Give me a perception, see if you wake up.
Double 2s. Guys.
I rolled a 4
Is that 4 total?
total.
Okay, so you don't
He's,
quite wake up from that. I guess
These
it's
D6s, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah.
Do you
Double
consider knocking on the wall to be comparable to the sound of battle, or less than the sound of
it
battle?
would be this.
Through
Okay,
those.
and a 2 and a 3.
Yeah.
All good.
Because he's too short. That's the best I got.
Wow. Racist.
Alright, so you knocked on that, and then you go
Why?
over. So you know he looked like he was still in this bush somewhere.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
It's so fucked up.
That's bad.
Well, damn.
God
That's
damn.
that's a thing.
I haven't heard that one. That was fucking good. Thank you, So Brave.
It was so brave of you to tell us that
It
joke.
was so brave of you.
Actually, I think. Oh, there's a movement. Over there.
Oh
After
yeah,
knocking on the cart.
Will you hand me an Archer character, Brock?
Yeah, so you did not wake up to a answer your character.
Probably like here.
So you walk over and you realize he actually didn't go very far. He's actually just right there. You're like, where are you? Oh,
What does he look like?
So Northhill, who's in the cart with our big old buddy here.
Hello, that's Kempty.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hi, hi, hi.
Oh, that's a bad joke too. One true villain.
and so Mitch,
Interesting.
now you're closer, and there's enough light to tell that he is there. You tell he's got like a cloth over his mouth, and he's kind of got like leather armor on, and as he notices you, he kind of like fusses around. Looks like he's pulling out a sword, like dropped his bow or something. And before it's your turn, you'll hear what sounds like Northhill wake up. Like, what was that? Who knocked? Is something happening?
I knocked. There's someone here. They look sketchy.
Oh God! And he just starts shaking you.
Okay, I'm awake now.
He's like, William says there's someone sketchy outside.
Hey.
I don't know.
And since this guy looks hostile still,
This guy? Oh yeah.
I'm
I
going
want
to
to slowly just like.
cast a swarm of some kind.
I'm gonna get out of bed.
What are my options for swarms, bro?
Oh, I've never actually used summon swarm, so I can't tell you. It always looked like a silly spell that I didn't feel like dealing with.
Oh, it's a great spell. It's since I'm trying to get a little more creative with characters, it's been a contender for if you get a rogue with spells.
Oh.
It's a solid distraction that seems incredibly normal.
Is it just like an insect swarm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them are. They're talking about a single square
You
creature.
summon a swarm of bats, rats, or spiders.
Yeah. So you summon a swarm of spiders, crawls out of somewhere, and oh no, go get those spiders, or oh god, spiders!
Yeah,
Then you
we're
kinda
gonna, we're gonna do some rats. Or sorry, no, not rats. The winged ones, bats.
the winged
Just
rats.
bats just pop them all around.
Oh,
it's
as an elf, I
terrifying.
do just get keen senses, so I get +2 to perception.
Hey, Mitch, I know a great way to modify say where a swarm is. Give me one
Was
of
it
those.
him that said no?
Yes.
Hey, you can be bats. You'll be bats.
You'll
I'm
be
pretty
bats.
sure the half elf gets it from the elf.
So you
So you have
are
one.
now with bats.
Okay.
Oh. All right.
Can I?
0.
So that's a
1, 9, so 5, 10, 15.
casting power 1 round. So yeah, that happened.
I have a. Wow. I guess the DC. I always think the DC should be higher. I get why it's not for this game because people are trained to wake up, but to hear a conversation near you while you're asleep is a DC 10.
No, that's to. So I have.
Hear a conversation's a 0,
Yeah, here are the details of a conversation 0.
and then it's a +10 while you're asleep.
Oh.
That's why it's a 10.
So then I'm like a 12 or 13 to hear that. Which,
First cart is the one I'm sleeping in.
yeah, so I'm right here. So I'm like a 12 or 13. So I could probably hear that. Yeah, I rolled an 8 on the die.
So it's a 19.
Well, I heard Northhill.
Oh, because Northhill's talking now. Yeah, you're right. He got a little louder.
So once Northhill starts,
And I get out of bed, so I don't know what action that is.
do I
That
hear?
figurine by the giant, the white one, between the
Oh, that was
yeah.
nice.
Do I hear / wake up?
Hold on one second. So it's
Brush
like
your
this.
teeth, put on a little makeup.
So give me a d6 damage because the swarm of bats gets a d6 damage, and those swarms they hit.
That is a spoopy bat, 7X's.
Big, big, big.
I like how it's literally like the deer emoji that was used earlier. Is that a deer?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
With like snowman arms.
Yeah. Save in chat.
It's apparently not doing so many things now. Jerk.
Brock, I took your advice.
Sent it to Joel.
to video.
Oh god!
I sent 2 separate videos, so even if he skipped one, there is still another one.
Terrible.
Plus, I fucking hate you.
There's still more Jello in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, there is.
I don't think he's gonna trust you anymore with videos. Ever.
This is my first time summoning something in Pathfinder.
Now that's a spoopy owl.
Well, now you have a bat swarm with 13 hit points. Also, because of the diminutive swarm, and this guy has showed a bow and a sword, he can't hurt it. Which is the worst part of swarms at low level is immunity. Oh, weapon damage, right. I mean, the speed's only 5, but the fly's 40, so.
You're an awful person.
I sent a picture first too.
So I can only assume that Joel does not like Jello in some capacity
No,
for some reason.
he just doesn't like the motion
The jiggly.
of it. The
Him
jiggly.
and his dad are the same. I walked in with tapioca pudding and started shaking like I had Parkinson's in front of them. And him and his dad both actually, no jokes, just.
So like dry heaving.
It was great.
So the one with the fox head is a kitsune.
Sure, yeah. Feels amazing, man.
One guy's he's force lightning, one of them. Alright, so you did that, you summoned swarm bats on him. You woke up to the noise. You woke up and got up. I totally did not.
You're so far away.
Yeah, you're in what?
I mean, I didn't roll high enough, so yeah.
But you're here?
I would have been in the middle, so I put myself there.
You're in the... Oh, you just need my
Remember where the
fire.
model is.
Yeah.
So it's a... We agree with it was a DC 0 to hear battle?
So it would have been 10. Or, no, so yeah.
So how far
10.
away are you from the bathroom, whatever that is?
So I was only for the knock. So I guess we'll have everyone roll initiative now since there's multiple of you and more things gonna be happening.
Hufflepuff power, bitch.
What about hold on.
21?
Nice.
William,
20. 20-0.
Mara,
20.
I'm not in initiative yet.
What's your dex?
I have a 5 dex, and
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I had reactionary for +2.
Okay.
But I don't
You
think
beat
I
me
had
then.
improved initiative, so.
I had +4.
You have a 4 dex?
Mhm.
Nice. That halfling.
Yeah. Remember, I built this thing to possibly be a rogue.
That's true, I remember that now. So 5 for dex.
Bad.
Weapon focus 6. +1 weapon 7. +4, so 11 to attack rolls before steady target.
I roll here stuff. My initiative is trash. I rolled. I got 8 in total.
Of course, I think I have rapid shot, so 9 if I rapid shot. 9.
Nice.
Well, I guess conveniently because you went last, the baddies do go before you. Barely, which at least makes sense in that way. But he is prone because he was crawling to a swarm of bats.
He had over a 21 from Tormund?
He got 22
Oh, damn, son.
because we're on a 20 and getting +2.
Damn, son.
And then I rolled a 3 for
Just
initiative.
want some.
Hey, Freddy, can I,
So
No
he's
bitch,
being
you
kind
fucking
of
dumb.
loud. So he is definitely being kind of loud as there are bats.
Let's see if I can get Rain to say
So
something.
do you have a weapon out? I'm guessing.
Sure. I have a dagger.
Well, you knew you were following someone suspicious, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he will provoke from you
Oh, okay.
as he kind of just goes into the bushes more. So
Well, I rolled a 2 on the dice. I got an 11.
I'm pretty sure that misses. It does. Get right.
Donnie, how you feeling?
Okay.
I feel great.
two will pop up there to shoot at a bumble.
What's up with Mitch's half-sized characters going out by themselves, activating traps, and probably dying?
I'm guessing a 10 misses.
Trap lady. Huh?
A 10 I'm sure misses, but what about a 20?
The 20 will exactly hit.
Ooh,
Ah.
that's a pretty damn good AC.
It is.
Gosh damn it. You take 2 damage.
Oh man, I don't know if I can take too many hits like that.
Was that?
I can only take like 17 more of those.
Yeah. So after that will be Tormund. As you, I would say you can definitely see this guy, but you haven't noticed those two yet.
Talon?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not wearing armor, so
That's fair.
is that 30?
Oh, don't summon
1, 2,
things
3,
normally
4.
roll their own initiative.
I just say they go on your turn.
Okay, that works.
I'm in like this square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's nothing.
I
That
think
does, yeah.
a rule like that is really like a group-to-group basis. Whether you want to keep track of one more separate initiative or just do it during your turn.
What do I see?
You see a guy with like a sword out and like a cloth over his mouth and like what looks like maybe some sort of like leather armor or something like that. That was just kind of screaming a moment ago and like stood up kind of like flailing away.
So, I'm just dragging my axe behind me. It cuts a nice groove in the ground, and I'm just looking at him dead in the eyes, just kind of dark bags.
Silhouette because the light's behind you.
Just surrender. I don't want to deal with this.
Roll me an intimidate check.
This is gonna
The-
go poorly.
The dragging your sword on the
Dragging
ground.
the giant ass axe, saying like that where he just sees a silhouette of like, are you 7 feet?
6'8".
Okay, almost 7
Yeah,
foot.
guys mature slower. I'm not done growing yet.
But,
So I got a 15 on the die, which is a 13.
Sweet.
So dragging the oversized weapon on the ground is completely anime-esque.
If we were
Dragging
on
the giant
stone
weapon.
or something like noisy, that would have been perfect.
Oh yeah.
Hearing the grinding sound. Also, Pyramid Head.
Oh,
That's Silent
Pyramid
Hill.
Head.
He does that because there's a lot of darkness in that universe, a lot of fog. So just having that noise.
I've heard about those games.
Tormund is not trying to be intimidating. Tormund's just tired and cranky, a little cranky. So.
Fair enough.
Ooh, well, you didn't respond in chat, but you still responded.
Oh, Rain.
I have the greatest photo of her.
Uh-oh.
Should I show the group?
Amara. So you are awake. You definitely
Well,
heard him say that in a very, I'm guessing, sleepily irritated sort of tone.
I imagine he's even bassier because I just woke up. A little
Just
grotty.
surrender.
So do I notice these two here?
No, cyber wagon.
I mean, I'm on the floor. And I
What?
can see.
They're in plants.
Don't yell at me.
Okay.
It's fine.
So I will move action, stand
It's
up
like a meme.
while spending a free action to yell, "Porn, wake up!"
You. Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess you haven't seen me get up yet, but yeah, that's fair.
And then I think at this point I would just stand up and then draw my bow.
No
That's my
funny.
second move action. So that's my 2 actions.
It's very funny. You yelled in the Snapchats.
William,
It's very
Okay.
funny.
Well,
you know those two 'cause they shot at you.
Yeah. There you go.
He has a little hat.
And also roll me a d6 for said bats.
Okay. Bam. 2 points of damage.
2.
And then I'm over there, and I'm like, well, this is probably as good a time as any. I'm gonna pull the ring off for a second.
It's probably a good time as any.
And then I'm gonna make my I'm gonna make my my check, my Sunder check.
Oh!
Yeah.
So, it says you make a check versus all manufactured weapons.
I make a
within 10
single
feet.
check against. I make a single check against all manufactured weapons.
Your caster level plus your
My caster
modifier
it's
is your
it's my CMB, but instead of
your BAB. It should be your
instead
caster
of BAB,
level.
it's caster level. And instead of strength, it's charisma.
Yeah, your
So, let's go
So,
double check Sunder
Caster
real
level
quick.
4, charisma plus 3, so 7. So I get 7. That is a 16.
So, you got a 16. I'm double checking Sunder because this isn't coming.
all right. 7X's. You have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All
Night,
right.
Seven.
Have a good night.
Get your sleepies.
I don't know what those little guys are though.
I don't either.
Right, so what is those seeing? Yeah, 16?
Yeah.
Boom. You got it.
Yeah.
So, your attack is successful. You deal damage to the item normally.
Yep.
Alright, so they have...
I got worried for a second. I accidentally scrolled up to the. If you swipe up on Snapchat, it goes to the map, and I saw Cairo was in town center. I was like, oh, that's cool.
12
I wondered
points
how
of
close
damage,
the movie
Brock.
it gets, and it was just in the middle of the abandoned lot. I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, why?" I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely not there." I was like, "Good." I
Okay,
thought
so
someone
that's
like killed you,
that.
and dumped your body in the empty lot. Because your Snapchat GPS pings every time you open it, and it was pinging from the middle of the empty lot in town center.
Oh.
And I was like, "Did someone just? Please tell me you're okay."
Oh God.
Where is...
She goes, imagine if I had said no. I feel like I would have called you. I would have immediately called you on the phone. Just answer.
I guess a bow is a projectile weapon. So you said 12 damage, correct?
12 is the number I said, yes.
So you see them both holding short bows. They snap.
Hey.
As soon as I see that, I go, oh, yep, that's what I needed.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Alright.
Yep.
Seems good. No armors have enough hit points that definitely didn't break it. But what's the hardness? Oh, raised by material. Okay.
So is it like your level plus 2d4 or something?
Oh, no, I just rolled 4d4.
4d4.
And what'd you get total?
Ooh.
12.
Oh.
Is it a d4 per level or is it 44 flat?
Just 4d4, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just your 4th level, so. you
Actually,
said-
no, I think it is a d4 per level.
And it has a cap.
Oh, the wing studded leather. Okay, it doesn't break. Never mind.
No, what's the hit points on side of leather?
5 times armor,
So
and
15.
leather has a hardness of 2.
So they have 17 hit points.
I thought it was regular leather. I was like, wait, let me double check. Hold on a second.
So then the 15.
So
So they have 5 of their.
they have 5 hit points left on their armors. If
You
that
see
comes up.
their bows snap. Like, not the bowstring, the bows snap.
The bows snap.
And then their armor
Armor
just starts
just
to fall apart.
Crackling and like.
The leather's dry and crackle. The
But
rivets
does it
are
have-
rust
So it
and
is-
fall
So it
down.
is just weapons anyway.
Oh, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
weapons?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just weapons, so it's not their armor.
Okay.
But that includes any, like, swords they also have with them.
I already checked that. They just aren't out yet.
Yeah.
They go to pull their sword out.
It's just a handle. Actually, give me. Nah, it's too dark. You
Yeah, you could.
definitely see the bows break, but you couldn't tell if a sword sheath broke or not.
I imagine I probably would have had, like, light cast on my dagger or something.
It's weird this came up.
Actually, you know what? You went out to investigate. I'll take that since you did.
And that's why he had the dagger out. It was
Yeah.
because it was a
You're
flashlight.
my
give, me,
flashlight.
give me a perception check.
So Brock, I know we haven't
I
housed
got
with it yet.
17.
So you do notice you see a handle of what looks like a blade fall to the floor, just the handle. 12 was a good number.
So technically, swarms say immune to manufactured weapons. Like that's just a thing.
Immune to weapon
weapons.
damage, yeah.
Up to how big of weapon? I was thinking about this on the way home, both for my druid and for this character. I'm like, there gets to a point.
So I would say piercing and slashing for sure. If it's a big enough of a bludgeoning weapon,
Yeah.
I will definitely
Oh.
hear an argument.
Like if I had a large size Morning Star.
Sorry, it wasn't 12 damage, it was 11 damage.
So
Times
the
my
bow
charisma
still
modifier.
break.
It's times. It's not my level, it's my charisma modifier, which is 3. And the last one I rolled was a 1.
Damn it, the swords don't break.
Well, they still have like a broken condition or something like that, where they get.
I think it's if they
minus
get
2
halfway
rolls.
through their hit points, you get the broken condition.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I was just thinking about the idea, like, yeah,
Which
swarms
guys
are
have-
immune, but I mean, logic doesn't care if a huge size foot comes down on some rats.
Yeah, at a certain
That's
point,
cool.
you just would house rule it that a big enough, flat enough of an object will somehow deal an amount of AoE damage to the square.
That would also really depend on the swarm itself. Because, like, a swarm of diminutive, like bees or something, I don't care how big of a thing you're planning on hitting
They're
it
just
with.
gonna fly around.
They're just
it.
gonna either fly around of it or just be moved by like the
Yeah.
air displacement.
Like since they're
But
bats,
if you throw a car at a swarm of bees, that swarm is still not. It's no longer a swarm. You didn't kill them all, but they're now in so many different squares.
so like, if a big enough object, yes.
yeah.
I mean, because your thing's an axe, no. But I mean,
So I could do 0 damage, no matter what the creature was. Like if there's a swarm of rats, specifically just rats, and I start going to town on that square, the square is gonna be destroyed before the rats ever are.
yeah.
What if Austin's character had a oversized great club, for example?
Or the large Morningstar I have, which is bludgeoning and piercing.
So it is an oversized Morningstar, or
Yeah, it's a large size Morningstar. It's the Morningstar from my character's mother.
So like the ball of a Morningstar is probably like yay big.
It's twice as heavy, so however
Well,
big it is.
I think like a normal Morningstar's ball is probably about, from what I've seen, like like yay or so big.
Mhm.
So I was thinking a large Morningstar would be like bowling ball size.
Mhm.
If they weren't diminutive, I would say I'll give it to you for that. But for a diminutive swarm, you need something a little bigger.
Okay, it's up to you.
Yeah.
I'd still argue like quarter damage. It still affects them no matter how little. It's still better than literally 0.
That's also part of the reason why swarms, especially at low levels, are kind of garbage.
Yeah, because they stop making sense. I mean, a swarm of bats is really hard to get rid of, but
Yeah, that would be.
I'm going with the classic swarm of rats. If you step down
Well, these
enough
ones are
times,
bats, so
they'd go. They'd be gone.
Eventually, yes, that would be true. These ones are bats, so these guys definitely aren't killing that.
I just feel like Swarms is one of the most annoying creature types.
They are because they don't
They
hit
are.
for very much damage. Even troops don't hit very hard.
No,
They're just a pain.
they're good to get in the way.
They're
Basically what they are.
really really good shields.
Yes, they're really good at getting in the way and to complicate a battle.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so who's went? Mitch went. I get a turn. Duh!
Move action.
Pull out my sap, get ready to throw it at someone.
Does Saps have a range increment?
Oh, sling, my bad. Yeah, it's 50.
I was like, Sap, you hit somebody with.
I was like, that's not right.
That's
yeah,
a leather
sling.
sack
Get ready
full
to
of
throw my
stuff.
sling at someone.
You gonna sling your sling bullet, or you gonna throw a sling?
Throw the sling. That's how I've
Yeah.
described it, and then it's just come up the joke. I just keep throwing the sling at people.
Sling the sling.
So I'm just throwing my sling at people.
I threw a sling at you. Did it hurt? You dead? Yeah, bro.
That's it. I'm kind of just walking around, looking around, waiting.
Okay.
So after that, will be baddies. So this guy's gonna drop his sword and run. So I don't know if you actually want to take your attack for opportunity or not, but he's kind of just bolting.
He was suspicious. He didn't do anything.
And even attacked by bats.
Yeah, I'm
He
like,
literally got attacked by
run
bats.
away, buddy. Like,
He
go
got
for
bit
it.
a lot by some bats.
Also, you know how I'm
Not
not
the bats
big.
follow him for a
This
while,
thing
by the way.
sucks. Picking this thing up sucks.
The bats are faster than him.
You're just gonna have the bats just continue to chase.
And kill him. Very Rova cookie.
Anyway, so the
Well,
bats
not
are
with that intent necessarily. Just
just
I
gonna,
figured bats would be annoying enough, and I
gonna
don't.
leave the bats on him then.
And the I'm not very good at controlling the bats.
You can just tell them to stop, and then they'll stop.
But I still want them to annoy.
Pretty on point.
So these guys will pull out their little swords that you can see are broken, but not destroyed, and which gives them like a -2 and such.
Man, if only I was the fighter archer archetype, because then I could shoot my bow and do combat maneuvers and just aim for the swords and sunder them.
Mm-hmm.
They do not seem. They seem a little confused by how you just. I don't even know. Like you took off the ring, you're just like went, blah, just like snap.
No, things just started breaking around
Just
me.
take off the ring and things break like oh. I was totally picturing the Batman Pyro Man when he puts his
Yeah.
pupils in his eyes, just goes whoa. It just goes. That doesn't hit. 17 doesn't hit.
Nope. No, it does not.
Well, that's great.
Ha!
Aha. Oh. Hey, Amari, give me a perception.
Plus 11. That's the one, so that's only 12.
How stealthily are you, boys?
There's more of them.
Yeah. So you will
Oh.
see. I would say you see like another guy moving, so you saw that there was like two guys like through the. No, I'll say one hopped in, and one guy's like outside of it. You see one hop in.
I fully expect him to die because he's in the Rogue Alchemist wagon, but I'll investigate when it's my turn.
Tormund.
Did either of them hit you?
No.
Nope. It feels so weird going last for the 20.
I got an 8. I'm last.
Oh, fair enough. Almost last. Second to last for the 20 still seems weird.
So I'm gonna aim to
That's kinda
just smack the ground in between them as hard as I can on a power attack. But 22 hit the ground.
Yes, it does. It's the ground pretty hard.
24 points of damage. I just shout enough. Like, heave it up and
So give
just
me an
miss it.
intimidate, but don't add your charisma, add your strength.
Okay, so that's a bigger number. That's a 19.
Okay.
Bows
Just
snapped. Their swords aren't looking so great. They just got swung at by a
That purposely
weapon
was
that is,
missing
like,
and just yelled
twice
enough.
twice as big as they are.
Most twice as big as you are. They are humans, so.
That did you see that sword or that weapon?
Yeah,
I think it's
Weapon's
probably
like
twice as big as they are.
7 feet tall.
it's a silly weapon, that's for sure.
The axe head's bigger than their torsos. Because a regular butcher axe has the axe head that's like.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah. It's a silly sized axe.
Mm-hmm.
Kamara.
Okay. So if I saw the movement over here, I will do a good old 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll go to take a single shot.
Okay.
What did I say? Plus 11. So I got 25.
That'll hit.
Okay. And is he aware of me? If not, I get sneak attack.
I'm gonna say no.
No, he's not aware.
No, he's not aware.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. This-
So,
Weird, a
11
Snapchat story
damage.
was wrong.
Really?
You.
What a weird thing.
I weirdly know a couple facts about World's Strongest Man.
and
That's fair.
that'll be my actions, and I'll tell Parn that there is one more in the wagon.
Joel.
I don't know, I just watched the World's Strongest Man competition on Christmas. He doesn't look like he was doing so good.
Was that did they actually have one?
Yeah.
I missed it. I was busy.
Who didn't look like he was doing so good?
The last winner.
Thorn Bjornsson.
Yeah.
Did Hathor win this year?
No, he was not doing so hot. He had hurt his ankle,
Oh no!
so he made it to the finals.
He's made it to that would be
Like-
the 8th or 9th year he's made it to the finals.
Yeah, he made it to the finals, but he had a foot injury, so like
That
he
would
was
make
not
that
doing
difficult.
as well as some of the other competitors. I unfortunately didn't get to watch through to the end of it, so I don't know who actually won.
I'll have to watch it then.
I only watched the first round of the finals, where I think he ended up in like 6th place out of 10.
There's a snap story about Hathor Bjornsson. He's bragging how he can deadlift 1,014 pounds and bench press 539 pounds, and I'm like, but I know the world deadlift leader is Eddie Hall at like 1,100 and change.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and test the
Who
intelligence
also can bench
of
press
these two
530?
individuals, and I'm going to move away from them and see if they're trying to attack me with Tormund there. So 5, 10, 15, 20.
Gonna say no. We don't.
And just to be on the safe side, I will then cast Bless on us all.
Oh, nice.
And that would hit
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah, Hathor's just famous.
Just because you have them.
Yeah, of course.
That's great.
But yeah, Hathor has this whole story about him, how he's 6'9" and his big old deadlift and how his bench press is, and I'm always impressed by Eddie. Eddie Hall's not even my favorite, but Eddie Hall always impresses me because he's only 6'3", which in the world of strongman is short.
Yeah.
That's
Think
fair.
about Hathor being 6'9". I think Brian Shaw's 6'8", and then Eddie Hall's walking around with 6'3", look like a bulldog.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but I can, outside of this arena, outlift all of you. And you're like, like he half a foot taller than him, and
He has been a winner before, right?
Eddie, yeah,
Yeah.
Eddie Hall has.
He's the American.
No, that's Brian Shaw. That's my boy.
That's Brian Shaw.
I know it was kind
Boy,
of cool
Brian
too because
Shaw.
there was actually a couple of brothers who were the first brothers to both make it into the finals of this.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, strongest
That's
man
cool.
competition. And one of them's a fucking beast. Oh man.
Yep. So it's 1102, by the way. He was winning the world's record
After
for
your
deadlift.
comments, I'm going to.
These guys are so not human.
It's only half a ton.
I'm going to summon a
Yeah,
wolf
Eddie's only one.
and
once.
tell him to get him. And the wolf's going to hop in the cart also. And it's loud and it's barking and it's going to bite him. And then shortly afterwards, you're going to hear a female roguey girl yelling what the hell is going on here in a very surprised tone as there's a wolf biting a man on top of
That's fair.
her.
I'd
Yeah,
be somewhat
Brian's
confused
got
as well.
4 wins, and I've watched all of them.
Nice.
He's the only one I've seen a documentary about, so that's why I like him the most. Furious Pete, the competitive eater, went over to his house for like 3 or 4 days.
Oh, I remember
Nice.
watching that one. Yeah.
Yeah, because Furious Pete, you have to be a competitive eater to keep up with the world's strongest man diets. It's just a ton of protein and carbs.
So
Yeah,
much.
I'd imagine so.
Hathor, I think it was, had a whole thing about him where he eats 10,000 calories a day.
I believe that.
Every day.
I mean, if I'll, when I'm working, being physically active, eat like 3,000 plus calories, I'm sure that guy will eat freaking triple
6'9", 400 pounds, practices lifting
I think Phelps was like 10 to 12,000 also.
Cardio burns so much more calories. I was surprised when I saw 10. I was like, because you're not a very intense, like,
But he just
calorie
has
burning.
so much.
He just has so much muscle that to keep that muscle okay, you have to consume that many calories so that it burns through those and not your muscle.
Yeah.
Scary boys.
That missed. The wolf missed, unfortunately. I'm gonna go to some bandit. Some more bandits. Okay, so you're being batified.
He ran away into the night screaming about bats. Oh, and my axe is still in the ground.
Oh, that's fair. Oh yeah, that's right.
It's big enough to be relevant.
These guys are dipping.
Oh, I was gonna say now there are 8 of them, but it'll be more like 4. Now there are 4 of them.
Where once there was 3, now there is 4.
Ooh, I wonder if there's a way to get rock throwing as a character.
There has to be a way.
I'll find it.
The hulking hurler from
I was gonna say, well, I know
3.5.
there was in past editions.
No, I want specifically rock throwing the feature. I want to only be able to throw
Oh.
rocks.
That's what you mean.
If you
'Cause it gives-
giant form, do you get rock throwing through that?
I just want to get it naturally, so
That's
that
fair.
my pseudo half giant can have rock throwing.
That may or not.
Because that gives a good range. It's actually like
It's a good range.
it's like 120 feet for a
I think
rock.
it's like 80 at base.
Yeah.
Like only large or so. 80 or 120 is where it
It's
starts
better
at.
than 10 for a rock.
Yeah.
For an
Like
improvised
I think
weapon.
for like thrown weapons, javelin's the highest at like a 30.
And then I know that I don't know if Pathfinder still has the Atlatl.
What?
Yeah, Lattle?
The Atlatl. It's a sling basically for javelins.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's basically just like a wooden stick that's meant to propel a different wooden stick very,
Yeah.
very fast.
Yeah. Whereas you could throw a little rock and hit somebody in the head, you can sling it faster. You throw a javelin versus Atlatl.
Yeah.
Atlatl.
Ow, ow,
So-
ow, ow.
You and I will definitely hear from
Ow,
over
ow,
here,
ow, ow.
hurry up, sort of thing, as a guy kind of will poke around. And don't take a shot at one of each of us. What's your AC?
Probably 20
Fair enough.
plus 1
Is it
Hell Knight leather,
21?
4, 5.
Hell Knight leather?
And
Yeah, it has the highest. It has 3.5.
you couldn't
What?
have Hell Knight armor.
Hell Knight leather. I mean, it's
It's a Hell Knight armor.
It's an order
You have to
specific
be a
armor.
Hell Knight to have Hell Knight stuff.
Yeah.
So unless you're a Hell Knight, you don't get it.
It
Yeah.
doesn't say that in the description though, which is annoying.
But it implies it by the title Hell Knight.
All right, well then it's most likely then.
I mean, you say you look for a
I could have
5'3"?
leaf armor, I guess. 500 gold pieces isn't too bad at this level, so yeah,
You say a 5'3",
3.5.
3'5". I mean, that's studded
That's,
leather.
it is studded leather.
Studded leather, I thought was
3'5".
3.2.
3.5.
It's a 3'5" armor.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Just have that.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was less. Sorry. Yeah.
That would be weird because the lowest dex on a light armor is Mithril at 4. And the highest is 8 on padded.
But yeah, chain shirt has a 4'4".
Yeah, chain shirt's a 4, and then padded is a 1/8.
Bang. You get shot for 4.
And Knock Knock doesn't wear armor.
Who's that?
The goblin
yeah.
from Kingmaker.
You said knock knock. I said, who's that?
I think his dex is a 9 right now.
Yeah. You just give him braces of armor and say, here you go.
Yeah, I found a braces of armor +4 on a wizard character that I think the Technic League boss
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
killed his ass.
Good.
That was an annoying fight because it was here, there, and then the main boss came out here.
Something like that, yeah.
It was
So
exactly
that
that.
guy doesn't like the fact that
Something
the people
like
in the
that.
cart
Exactly
just woke up because a wolf is in there, and now there's a wolf in there.
Got the key.
So he's gonna try to. Oh, wolf's in the way. He can't even get out.
He can move through a square with acrobatics.
Yeah, he can. He could try to.
You can roll an
Technically.
acro.
It's not gonna end well for him.
I mean, are these covered wagons?
Yeah.
And they're covered in cloth. He can bust out the side.
Oh, that actually is fair.
Yeah.
He likes that idea much more. And he's gonna go for it. The wolf is still gonna provoke.
He's not gonna try and do it.
Nope, apparently not.
Okay.
No.
Hi,
These
Clutterbug.
guys apparently don't have points in. So the cliche bandits don't have points in acro, and yeah.
I mean, it's always worth it to try,
Yeah.
especially if you're only gonna move one square anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And wolf misses, and he tears through the wagon.
5 count squares.
He's gonna go over there. Okay, he's dead.
That's a lot of actions.
Uh,
You figure it's a standard action, like it is open the door, and then a move action to get out.
wait, he's just gonna try jumping through the cloth, and then
Oh, so he jumped through the cloth with enough force to break it with his body.
yeah.
Okay.
That works.
I mean, it doesn't, but
It does.
it's fine.
It works.
After Dan will be Austin.
How far is it from my character to here?
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 squares?
So 85 feet?
Yeah.
Cool. Is that too much deviation for running?
I'll say
half
no.
a square in either
Yeah.
direction.
For simplicity's sake, no.
Okay.
Because that's basically a straight line.
It's very, very slightly bent. But yes.
The intent is to not be like near him.
No big turns, yeah.
But if you take a step to the side, yeah.
Okay.
Normal person could just run through that. So.
Yeah.
So then I'll be here.
Okay.
Straight line that way.
We will go with Amara.
Okay. I will take my first shot at this one. Should have rapid shot at this, so -2, so now 10 to hit. So that's a 13 on the die, 23.
Yeah.
6 damage.
Okay.
Now we'll take my second shot at him also. So that's a 4, so 14. Okay. And that'll be fine. I guess I could just take a little dippy McGoo.
You can. Mr. Bumble.
I mean, not a whole lot more I can do.
You can stay in guard, make sure those three don't come back.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
It could be another diversion.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Death Watch on myself.
So Death Watch?
Death Watch on myself. And keep an eye out for stuff.
Stuff.
Okay. I got to use both of my mystery spells this combat.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alright. So we'll get him. No.
All I need to do now is take fire damage, and I'll have used all of my mystery stuff.
Well, that one's gonna hit. You roll that dice. How much damage do you do, Mr. Wolf? You do.
Hell yeah, it's on YouTube. I've had trouble finding the World's Strongest Man competitions on
Right.
YouTube
Yay!
these last couple of years.
Blah.
Oh, we're committing murder now. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's a wolf. It's really hard for.
Oh, there's a dead body right there. Or downed body, I should state. I shot someone right there.
He's unconscious, yeah.
Well, I really hope he's not dead. Do I have any potions? I'm not comfortable with the idea of killing people just yet.
I mean,
And
worst case
then
scenario, I can heal people.
Throw a sling and miss.
So they don't know. These guys don't know anything about their boys over there.
No. But it doesn't mean they like what's going on.
And fire another shot and back off.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy's basically gonna give a different sign. He's gonna shoot a wolf and then he's gonna move action out of there. He's gonna hit a wolf. For 2 damage.
He grazed a wolf.
He grazed the wolf. It's basically a flesh wound. And this guy's gonna run further because he didn't shoot. He just ran. That was almost where he landed. Plop. Oh crap!
Stop that one.
Oh, that one's way easier to get.
Oh.
He might have taken a thing. Get
Yeah.
that one. Tackle him,
Tormund.
I'm gonna tackle him.
How is your perception, out of curiosity?
Want me to roll perception?
I want to see if you notice something.
2.
Never mind.
Tackle him.
He looks like a good target to tackle.
Oh, is that Peter?
No, he would know what Peter looks like. Although that would be hella funny. I wish I thought of that.
Well, I mean, you asked me to roll perception checks, so I was
Yeah.
wondering if that's what it was about.
Peter in his pajamas. He has a,
So what-
looks very different in his pajamas.
What am I rolling for tackle?
Isn't
Combat maneuver.
Okay.
So it's roll C
So
and B.
strength plus Bab.
Yeah, 25.
You
That gets it.
definitely got him.
Okay. So I'm gonna
He
tackle
did
the
not
ground,
see you coming.
and
That
then
did not provoke.
I'm gonna just put my axe on his chest and just kind of hold it down.
Okay, Thor.
I mean, it's 50 pounds to your chest.
It's not Thor.
You
he
could
has
get
to
up.
hold
It's just
his down.
uncomfortable.
Thor could just put the hammer there and be like, "All right,
You
you're
know,
there for a while."
Pathfinder, it's close enough. Actually, there are immovable rods, so that actually
Which
really
can be
fine.
moved with difficulty.
I mean, it's very difficult.
Oh, I want to make a magic hammer that the thing is an immovable rod that's keyed to the user.
Boom! Just
That'd
let
be
it go.
great.
Obviously, you have a trip guy who just quickly just puts a rod there and just says "ha."
I want to be a magic item creator at one point. I thought about taking the Maul of the Titans and turning it into a small hammer and chisel for like subterfuge. So instead of like, if you don't know how to pick a lock,
Holy
you just walk up
crap.
with the hinges and you're just like, kink.
You can totally salmon ladder with an immovable rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually in 3rd edition. That's the picture of the guy literally climbing with like 2 or 3 of them.
Well, yeah, I'm saying you could just salmon ladder. You just be like, and lift,
Oh, that's
undo,
what salmon ladder
click.
is. Okay. I didn't know what salmon ladder was. That's hella
The
funny.
upward row.
I'd probably give specific actions to set and move it, but I still like that idea.
Yeah, you could.
That's really funny.
I
It's
imagine
a
it's-
modified.
It can't be that.
movable rod.
It can't be that difficult to do. Like
I mean, I've never really looked out because it's never come up. I
every
know
time
something.
I've seen immovable rods, I've just imagined that it's like a button.
So I tackle
It
this
might be
guy.
that simple. I don't
Do I
actually.
recognize this guy?
No.
Okay.
No, he's got like definitely some cloth covering like half his face.
He had a priceless piece of pottery and I just obliterated it.
Oh, that'd be hysterical.
That wouldn't be the first time I broke a priceless artifact. I've broken a 500-year-old piece of Anasazi pottery before.
Was this in Ben's or Brendan's game?
This is in the real world.
Oh,
I broke an artifact.
nice.
Oh.
Sweet. Was this at your mom's?
Yep.
Okay, I've heard about this.
It was not on purpose.
Amara, are
I
you
hope
doing
not.
anything?
I opened the door.
Yeah.
It wasn't far enough. It
Did you
got
slow
pushed
my
open
eyesight?
further. I bumped the cabinet.
Yeah.
It was about that high. And all of a sudden I hear... Luckily, it was only the 500-year-old, not the 600-year-old.
Never mind. A 1 and a 2.
Nice. Is William going to do anything else?
He's
Oh,
gonna
he's
keep
just
an eye
kind of
out.
just skedaddle for what you can tell.
He's gonna wait a little bit to just make sure no one else is coming from that direction before he goes over there and sees what's going on.
Okay.
Wait a minute. How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now?
Wolf is going to stand right next to that guy and basically growl and stuff.
You could have charge tripped him.
Yeah, charge trip him.
Oh, you
If
know,
we're in this
I'm
square.
sure Bumble did. I'm sure Pond could have thought of that. Because, you know, Wolf and tripping.
Yeah, charge
stuff.
trip. Plus
Wow.
2. He's also blessed. Plus 3.
He is not blessed. He came in after the blessed.
Oh.
But he's
Yep.
a get. So you tripped him.
And then provoke, and then get it tripped again.
Yeah, yeah.
Get trip locked.
I'm encouraging. And moral support. The other bandits who may or may not have been here are scattered at this point. But there are those two. One who a wolf has, and the one who a half-giant has.
I'm gonna pick them both up.
That's fair.
I'm gonna just leave my axe right where it is, and I'm just gonna just take these ragamuffins by the hand.
So,
White.
Actually,
hi, it's Amara. Was he in there long enough to take anything? If so,
Then-
I'll go hunt him down.
I don't know yet.
Well, better go hunt him down.
Okay,
Rock,
I'll be back before
I'm gonna
morning.
stand up and I'm gonna use the stick of my axe in 26 subdual.
I mean, he's out.
Okay,
Frick, that almost knocks me out.
and then I'm gonna just go up to the other. I'm gonna go. Well, I mean, 2 people is really hard to handle. I don't want to just seem like an omnipotent god who knows how to just hold 2 people who are roughly 5 foot something.
So, I mean, you could do that thing my dad did once when we were kids where you just bang their heads together.
I thought about it. So yeah, I'll knock him out, and then I'll go pick this one up so that the dog doesn't have to, because the dog also disappears soon.
Oh, my dad's not there. He stays for a couple minutes.
Big whip.
My dog.
Is there an unconscious one here?
Oh,
Yes.
does he have scent?
I mean, technically everything has a.
Yes,
my
he
wolf?
has. The wolf has scent.
Oh, wolves have scent. Yes.
All right. As soon as I decide to go off, I tell Parn, have him help me track.
Wolf, go find him who ran off. Ruff, ruff.
Well, don't you roll separate checks, or do you have an assist? Did he give you a +2?
Yeah, the sense lets him track.
Because the scent,
also.
him having scent lets him roll perception track to track through scent,
Yeah.
or to roll a survival check.
I'm looking at following tracks right now.
So I'm gonna bring these 3 in here. I'm gonna ask Bumble
So you're not even that far behind.
to heal
be
the
fair.
dead
Just see
one,
where he's
or the
going.
unconscious one.
Yeah, so there's 2 that are unconscious and negative, but not dead.
And then, I guess Moonlight.
Oh, there's 2. Hold up. We have a lot of people. Because I knocked one out. This one was tripped. This one was a negative.
Yeah,
this
those
one a
Moonlight.
negative.
So I have low light vision 60 feet, and I don't know what race they are, but that could also potentially give me an advantage. So how do you want to do this?
Give me survival for tracking.
So plus 10.
Oh, you keep doing your thing. I'm gonna grab rope from wherever, and I'm not asking for permission. And if anyone tries to
You will
snap
find
at me,
rope, and I don't think anyone's going to stop you at the
I'll
moment.
just ignore them. They know. Not the time to be stingy.
You're gonna tie them all up.
Yep.
Good thinking.
So it doesn't
Hold up.
say what. Oh, there it is.
I got a 15 on my use
So-
rope.
5 for very soft
And this
ground.
is all the
10 for
diversion.
soft
While we've
ground.
been doing this,
15 for firm ground. 20 for hard ground.
Mimsum's been going from cart to cart.
Size of character being crouched, medium plus 0. Visibility, moonlight plus 3, but I have low light vision, so I'm not really sure if that's applicable or not. So based off that, I got a 16 on my first check. If he's assisting, aiding, or not, that could be higher. I'm not really sure if he's doing separate. If you're having him aid,
The wolf will basically do his own thing because it's an unintelligent animal. Cool. So basically, like you're going like over here, following the footsteps, and the wolf's kind of like off on the side a little bit, just kind of like smelling and going in the same direction. Are you trying to be stealthy at all, or are you just kind of going for it?
Right now, I'm just going for it. If I think he gets a little too far ahead, then I'll basically be like how humans were with
game, they just
game
track
hunt.
them.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm gonna walk. Eventually, you'll get tired.
You probably went this way.
The only problem with that strategy is this is a humanoid, so technically, theoretically, they should be able to do the same thing you do.
You guys can both sweat.
Yup.
So, as you're going, you notice that the wolf is definitely on some sort of a wolfy scent trail, and you're going. You're definitely like you're finding his footprints based off where it looks like he's going through the wilderness. And you're keeping an eye on where like the wolf is. And basically you realize like the wolf like gets some, and all of a sudden it just goes.
Oh, once it goes.
All of a sudden it gets some. It's like looking around, and then it just goes for it.
Okay, I'll follow it at full speed.
So you can kind of hear the wolf like running because you know it's there and you're listening for it. And all of a sudden at one point you hear it like bark and like jump or something like that, and you hear like some sort of
And a
scream.
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, basically.
And it's an innocent passerby who's happening to be wandering by wearing the same cologne as the last thief.
That'd be very unfortunate. You catch up to it after a moment. What is that?
One of my Christmas presents.
You got tarot cards?
Tarot of Cocktail.
Nice.
Oh, cute. And you notice the wolf definitely does have him tripped on the ground.
Nice.
Okay.
You were close, but the wolf is a lot quicker, so
Yeah,
it's
he's-
easier.
He's quicker.
We got them all,
Yeah.
except for the one that.
Except for the one that was chased off by bats, and the other two just ran.
Yeah, but they didn't look like they had gotten anything, or even had a chance to, so they're fine. They can go wherever. We don't care about them.
True.
These guys over here had a chance, potentially, to take things. So.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah.
So the guy who came out of Peter's tent did end up having a few little scrolls that he just grabbed. Yeah, 2 of them.
So we got, you said the one I tackled, there were 2, oh god no. 2 at negative but not dead.
Yes.
And there was the one the wolf had trip locked? Or trip?
Yes.
So that's 4 in camp, and the one I'm bringing back is 5.
Yeah.
And all of mine are alive now.
Yeah, all 5 of them will be alive.
Because Bumble done did fixed him so we could talk to him.
Yeah. Woo.
So who has charisma to interrogate?
Me!
I have some charisma.
Okay.
I'm a charisma boy.
I'm
You're
just going to
probably better at this
stand
than me.
behind William being menacing. And these are all going to get propped up. These 5 guys propped up like along the wagon.
Yeah,
So
'cause I got a 10 to diplomacy. I can talk to these guys.
once I get back, I know I saw someone go in this cart and someone go in this cart. I'm going to do rings around the other carts to see if I can tell if footprints tried going in them without us noticing.
Give me perception.
30?
So it doesn't look like anyone went in any of those, and based off of what those who were in those carts saying, they don't. Doesn't seem like anyone else got in here, or they didn't see anyone get in here either.
Okay.
They did not get anything out of Colia's cart. They didn't have the chance to. and Pierre's card, that guy had a handful of things that were put back. Everyone, since they're now awake, take a moment, look through their stuff. Everything's accounted for. Bandits didn't actually make off with anything. It seems like nothing has gone missing yet.
Who does
But-
number 2 work for?
It sounds like you get to talk to some little bandit boys.
Yeah. Well, all right, fellas. The jig is up. Why were you stealing from us besides the fact that you guys are clearly run-of-the-mill brigands?
Who do you work for? Who
Which
does
one
number
of
2
these
work for?
7 fellows do you work for?
There are 8 fellas.
Well, all right, 8 in total. That's true.
You don't
8
have
counting Annie.
You don't have Annie down.
Oh, right, yeah.
He points at Danny.
What was like? A boss ain't here.
Someone with sense motive.
I'll roll.
I don't think I had any
Brendan,
ranks in
give me that
it.
D20.
So I got
I
a
got
9.
18.
I'll roll on the countertop.
I got a 12. 13.
I got a 13.
18. Okay. Seems reasonable. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So these are literally just the run-of-the-mill brigands. Have you guys been following these guys for a while and taking things?
No.
Someone with sense motive.
Oh yeah, that's 20.
19.
I only got 13.
So it all seems believable so far. As they're sitting here
How
tied up.
many of you are there?
There was 11, 10, 10,
11.
10.
11.
Did they literally say 11 or was it the DM?
One guy asking like,
One
one
of them
guy was
said
like
11?
11. The other guy's like 10. He's like 10. Cal looks at like confused, like 10.
Someone with sense motive.
So
14.
3.
6.
You look.
I'll
You think
roll
he was
it.
actually confused? We're like, so that was an 11. So
Oh,
it was
I
11.
got 16.
You also say, okay, no, I wasn't sure.
So they have 5. I could have killed 3 of them. That makes 8. We didn't see anybody else get away? No, that one guy ran that way. It was 9.
Well, so, well, the one who ran off is the one he has. He got. So 5, 6, 7, 8. You didn't see 2 of them.
So we've only seen 8.
Well, then who are the other 2?
What do you mean? Probably
So-
the other 3?
So there's,
didn't ask where
there's
are the other
10
2.
brigands who all take petty handfuls of stuff, and that's enough money for you to not kill each other.
Also, I don't think you quite understood my question. I did not ask you where they were. I asked you who they were. Those are 2 very different questions. If I asked you who you are, you would not respond
Well-
here on the ground.
Well, who are... Well, there's 5 others. Which 3 do you not mean?
Oh, I mean,
The
there
three-
were... I mean, there were 3 that were there, but we ran them off. And there's you 5, and there's another 2.
Well, so our half was over here. Their half was over there.
And 3 of them got scared off, and 2 of them didn't bother to show their faces. Where's your base? Grabs the whole axe head, rest of the chin. Where's your base? I don't have anything small. I can't be like, where's your base?
He's like, I see it too. Said, do you hold blade to throw?
Yeah.
Blade.
And I'm picturing
Quotes.
it's this guy that I'm talking to. So the other 4 just get to sit with
So the
my...
guy next to him also has a blade near his throat.
And then the other 3 are all holding onto the handle.
This would be in Lord of the Rings where Gimli would like just Legolas and
Oh.
where he shoots the wrong guy.
That's right.
Oh, fix
He
it. Fix
bumps the bow. Meant to give a warning shot. He's like, mind your aim. Bump. Shoots him instead. Oops.
I think that's a pretty funny part where, like, if you are high level adventurers and you clearly know that you are at an under CR encounter,
Just going on fighting with each other.
like at that
Actually, that would
point,
be
like
pretty awesome.
the games that you play with each other while you're in the fight would be funny.
That actually would be pretty hysterical.
But it's only funny if the players like realize that and do it. If not, it's a stupid under CR fight and not worth our time.
That would be a funny little module where you are like 12th level PCs going against like CR 6 and 8 encounters and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys having problems with this? Fine. Don't even bother paying us. That 200 gold? Are you
I mean,
being
we should,
serious?
I feel like we should
that's
probably
not in
pay
the bank.
attention to the game at this point.
That's fair.
It is 10:30. It's actually
gosh.
past 10:30.
Yeah.
So
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's
we
fair.
really need to
Oh,
figure out what's going on.
So,
Or finish this on Wednesday.
or finish
no, we're
someone's.
finishing this now.
We're finishing this tonight because Austin claimed Wednesday, and
I
we're
already
not
claimed
taking it from
Wednesday.
him.
That's
It's
fair.
like-
So they end up giving up the location of the bandit camp. You can tell it is local.
Okay. So these guys can't really be the people that have been stealing from this whole time anyway if they're local. So like that's a waste of time. We need to be looking for other people that are sketchy.
But also, if they have like a base, then it's 100% not a road.
Yeah.
If they're just a roving van, they might be back.
Right. But they have a base. They said they had a base and it's local. So we can just ignore them.
Well, we're gonna take them in.
Huh?
The criminals.
I mean, yeah.
We will arrive to a town by end of tomorrow. So
Perfect. We'll drop them off there.
I'm gonna tie all their hands together, and I'm gonna have their rope over my shoulder.
yay.
And Ferris is gonna be right here. Good boy. Oh, guard doggers.
Alrighty. Well, off to sleep. Yay. That's all that happens in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Good.
Do. So everyone else checked, made sure things were all accounted for and everything.
Yeah.
Cool. As you go
And I would
on,
recommend that one of us is with each of them as they do their inventory, so that we have an idea of what their inventory is like, so none of them can lie to us later.
most of them have some sort of ledger or so keeping track of it.
Right.
They have become much more
But also,
organized with this.
I'd like to have one of us there when they do inventory, so that so that we have an idea of exactly what they have, ledger or no ledger.
I mean, yeah, you could just start
Because
picking
a
up
ledger
something
can
and
be
not put
altered.
down. Yeah, if you're
fair.
missing something, you just want like, all right, we added this. Did we get any of those? No, but so we lost.
So I'm gonna have one of us every time someone checks their does in their inventory. One of us is going to have to be there watching it.
Fair enough. Chloe doesn't like it, but she doesn't argue. Museum is suspicious, but goes along with it. The other three don't complain.
I promise you that I have no ill intent. This is both legally and magically binding.
Sense motive. 3. Does he have ill intent?
Yes,
He's super sus.
totes us.
Anyways, so next day. During the travels on the second day, things are not too bad, except at one point,
Just tackle the guy.
as you guys are traveling, there is a random little crash and a bump, and as you hear it come from behind you, you kind of look, and you see that Peter's cart has a broken wheel.
Oh, yes, we have to do inventory. Also fix his wheel.
Can anybody cast mending?
I can cast mending.
Okay,
So it still takes a little time. You grab some little supplies and
I
stuff.
pick the
but
wagon up while we put it back on.
It's gonna be standing there for a little bit, but yes.
Take it off.
Yeah.
Let it rest. 10 minutes for mending. Pick it up. Put it back on.
But yeah, so it still takes a little bit of time. It still stopped for at least a half hour or so.
At
That's a long
the end
time.
of that time, we're doing inventory.
Yep.
Okay.
Anytime these wheels stop moving, for any reason. Full inventory of all 5 cards.
If you don't know how things are going away, the best way to pinpoint when it's happening is to check
Always
it
check.
every time there's a possibility of it happening.
I'm
If
gonna
honestly,
triple check.
if we could be
Peter
doing
now.
inventory on the move, I'd be suggesting that. But that sounds like a real pain.
That does sound like a real pain.
Hey, I still like the idea that everybody puts all their stuff in one big box and then it gets locked. That you don't open it till you get there. Nobody wanted to spring the money for a big old chest. Actually, you guys keep doing stuff. I want to look up what size the biggest chest is.
Definitely during this endeavor happening, Mimzim is definitely complaining that someone probably sabotaged the cards and is accusing people, and Cooley is definitely telling them to shut up and stop making drama.
I'm gonna politely ask him to shut up.
He continues going off about it because.
And
that's
I will
kind of-
politely remind him of the bandit who was very quiet after a big stick met his forehead.
Is that a threat?
It's a promise, little man.
The few unknowns like maybe hold on. He's like 3 times your height. What the hell is
Why
wrong
my
with you?
patience?
3 times my height. It doesn't mean you can talk to me. That's right. It's like you're supposed to be helping us.
I've taken shits bigger than you.
Prove it.
Me
Don't.
I stand right there.
He's just please don't.
And then
We
just
do
like
not
the
need
episode
this.
of South Park.
Are you telling me that he has taken a 30-pound crap?
I once ate an entire elk.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
You guys take inventory.
They tore
Again.
down the outhouse after that one.
Oh gosh. Take inventory again. Nothing has disappeared as of this point,
Okay.
and you continue onward.
Right.
You do arrive into the town, which is called Wraith. Before dusk, which is nice because that way they get a little time to break. They do inventory as they arrive in town.
Good. Yes.
As well.
I was going to suggest it otherwise.
Everything is accounted for after you go over all 5 carts. This is actually a place they go through routinely, and Annie goes ahead and pays a little bit extra to help make sure everything is more secure, just for on everyone's behalf at the inn they are staying in.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, just to be sure, I'm gonna go around while we're doing the inventory this time, casting detect magic on everything. Try and see if there's anything that probably shouldn't be magical that is for some reason emitting magic.
Ooh. So this is the first time we've come to since the ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
First time we come through.
The first town.
Oh, town. Yes, sorry. Yes.
So I'm gonna have spent the entire time getting to know these brigands, and
All 8 of them.
we didn't catch
Oh,
those.
I only have 5 of them.
Sorry.
All 5 of them. No, the brigands that I think I can trust at some point, not the ones I know I can never trust.
Gotcha. Okay.
Never trust a salesman. They're all suspicious. They're lost causes. How about these 5 that only tried to kill me? Because I can handle that. And I'm gonna get to know them.
They only tried to kill me.
I'm gonna tell them my entire life story. We're gonna share names.
They
I'm
were
gonna ask
really
them.
confused about it at first.
I'm gonna ask them what got them into robbing.
Okay.
Brigandry.
Why they're doing what they're doing. You know, I want to hear their side of the story. And if anyone wants to stop and go legit. You know, Ferris here went legit.
So speaking your boy pets. So Ozzy, what was that picture you showed us earlier about all your characters?
He tried to fight me. So I hated my friend.
Here's the thing, Tormund. Listen, I mean, you can make friends with these guys if you want, but these men all have to
Go to jail.
go to jail.
Yeah. And after they get out of jail, I want to make sure they go back to being brigands.
There you go.
But I want to see if anyone wants to stop being brigands first.
Some of them are interested,
Mhm.
to say the least, to right to their wrongs. Not quite all of them.
Any of them that claim to, no sense motive check. Any of them that claim to, I'm just gonna give them my name, like a piece of paper with my name, and then the name of the town where our guild hall is. And when they get out, they can come look me up, and I'll make sure they get a job.
Okay,
Nice.
fair enough.
Keep
It's
your
not
chin
too
ups,
far
kids.
from here. Keep that chin up.
My dad always said, right after he beat me up.
Every time.
Yeah, he was really good. Sparring sucked.
Is he as big as you?
He's a little shorter than me when I left. He's like 6'6",
Got it.
but he's like 40. So.
But he's like 40.
Yeah.
So at this point, they do have a little meeting over dinner, just kind of discuss how it's going, and they're looking for some inputs. Museum will complain about the four of us, and if you're actually listening, what you realize is kind of useless, stupid arguments.
I'm gonna say in Draconic to Ferris, one of these days you might get to eat that one.
Talking
Let me
about how you
guess,
guys like
one of the rogues
wasting
starts
time
laughing.
and
Yeah, does anybody else speak Draconic in this group? Because I'm not
cannot.
being sly about it. I'm just assuming nobody speaks Kobold.
I have.
no one else does.
Oh,
Okay.
Julia doesn't start laughing or something.
No,
Because Draconic would be a
actually,
go-to first language for a lot of people.
Yeah, I know Common, Half
no.
Elvish,
You
Dwarvish,
you
and
do
Infernal.
hear a chuckle
From
as the half orc cat looks at you. It just gives a side glance.
He speaks Kobold.
It's like the first time I think you've seen him like laugh. By the way,
He's not a bad guy.
he's not a bad guy.
He's legit.
He's- he is just quiet. But yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, I guess you can take those off now.
No more
But-
prayers.
For the most part, unless someone else wants to do anything weird or specifically different while they're in town. That is all.
I'm spending most of my time probably with the cards.
Oh, I'm glad they specified. This is not a toy.
Oh, okay.
Not a
Nice.
toy.
You are a
Toy.
I know
Buzz,
Karn
buzz,
will take
buzz.
some time to rest and check up on the cards, but especially if you're hanging out down there, he won't worry about that too much specifically at the moment.
Well, I'm assuming we will do our watch the same as last time.
That works.
Was the town we passed through big enough to like throw this lot in jail?
They would at least be able to transport them to jail. If not, yes.
Yeah.
We'll make
Yeah.
sure we're not. If they're transporting them, make sure we're not giving them to brigands. They're just gonna take them back to the base. We gotta make sure.
That's fair.
I mean, we have 5 brigands who are charged with attempted robbery
We just,
and attempted assault. Did anybody actually take any damage? That wasn't
I
an
did
imaginary
I
wolf.
got shot for
I
4.
think you both got shot.
oh, I got 2 damage.
Yeah.
So you got
Your rolls
scrapes.
weren't the best.
You guys got minor cuts. Okay, but it was attempted.
The wolf got shot, then disappeared.
Okay, so they're wanted. These guys were charging them with attempted theft, and attempted murder.
Battery power 15%. Oh no.
Oh no. During the watch, you'll notice a couple people will like check on the stuff at some point throughout the evening, which I feel like shouldn't be too surprising.
Where is Are we like in a stable or something?
Yeah, these are in a more secure like back part of the stable where there actually is a lock for it. The shopkeeper basically says, I'm not gonna lock it if one of you's always gonna be in there, so you can at least come in and out.
Okay.
But it's definitely like a one-way entrance. There's not really any windows or anything. It's supposed to be like a safer place where people who pay more money can put like horses and stuff. So it's like you can tell there's like 1 or 2 like nice horses in there and that kind of thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's like while you're down there, you'll notice like Northville will go in, Collier will check in. You'll see like Peter and Kuth and Northville will come in. While I'm there, I'll mention that Wolvik and Northville will come in to check up on stuff. And during the last watch, Kevin will say will come in and Northville pops in at the end just because. And then it'll end up being morning at some point.
Inventory.
Inventory, breakfast inventory.
Inventory, breakfast inventory.
What happened for breakfast, guys? Inventory.
Wait,
had
are we
that
eating inventory? Yeah, that yesterday. It's fair. So before breakfast, you guys will have them do inventory.
Yep.
Mimzim is definitely just like, oh my god. See, this is why I was saying they are being redundant, wasting time.
You eat your breakfast. We'll do this. There's no time wasted.
Well, I'm not going to check inventory without them here on my stuff.
Well, yeah, we got
But-
4 other people doing inventory. In that time, you can probably eat breakfast and come back.
It's like, no, if you're going to check inventory, I'll check first.
All right, well, in that case, we'll check your stuff and you can go eat breakfast.
Yeah.
And by the time you're done, you can come back for second inventory.
And you definitely say, and you just...
No wasted time. Let's go. So we do inventory. What happens?
So do inventory, check up on things. Kuth,
Casting Detect Magic all along the way.
right? Kuth at one point will definitely kind of like low key, okay, and kind of like pulls in and like into his cart real quick. She's like, all right, what's going on? And I'm sure someone's probably listening or right there next to it to be able to hear because they're not being that quiet.
Okay.
And he's like, I double checked. Don't tell me someone's missing. What? Basically, he points out that it was a masterwork short sword. And what I say, like a masterwork. 2 masterwork weapons basically have disappeared. So it ends up being between like 600 and 700 gold pieces worth of.
And they were actually things he had.
They were
right?
things he had. Like
Okay.
they were here last night.
They were here the last time we checked inventory.
They were here each other time that
Yeah.
they checked.
So we'll
inventory.
finish checking inventory. Did anybody have weapons they shouldn't?
No.
And then who came in last night? Check all their stuff.
Everyone checked in at some point.
And
So,
only,
like,
Great.
you'll
We're going to
mention-
need a detailed description of everywhere you went last night.
So you'll mention like who came in was you had Kuth and Northville came in.
that only accessed their personal cards.
That we saw.
You'll mention that you saw. I think I said Peter, Annie, and
So-
Northville during the second.
Pause, please. Who lost the stuff?
Kuth.
And Kuth came in the first batch?
Yes.
Okay, that's unfortunate. So everybody who came after Kuth is on the suspect list.
Everyone give me a wisdom check. I know we're super good at that one.
16.
15.
9.
Did you detect
4.
magic and see any extra dimensional spaces on anybody?
No.
So nobody has extra dimensional spaces. There's no extra dimensional spaces in any of the cards. And we're missing 2 large items that nobody during any of the watches saw leave.
Not that large. A short sword and a.
It's still big enough for if you're hiding underneath your clothing, it's going to be weird.
Okay. Yes.
A short sword and what? Because the and what's important.
I was thinking it was another smaller weapon,
Great axe.
not a great axe.
A light sized.
Light-sized weapon.
What stores are in town?
Oh, I was thinking a kukri. A short sword and a kukri.
So what stores do we have in this town?
Typical sort of things. So there's like a blacksmith and stuff like that.
I want to talk to the blacksmith.
Okay.
You guys keep your investigation going. I'm going to see
Sure.
if you got any kind of short sword or kukri in the last 24 hours.
Of masterwork quality.
Yep.
That he is unfamiliar with.
No, just did anyone sell these weapons? We'll start there.
Well,
So
not even
you'll-
sell. You might have just stowed them there and then maybe go back. So like, just have him check his inventory.
Yeah.
Inventory. What? I mean, I've been saying a lot, but yes, inventory. You'll notice as we were kind of all talking and mentioning each other, like who came in, who didn't. You sit there and you notice to yourself, how many? You saw Northville. He said he saw Northville. Parn saw Northville. Why was Northville here so much? You notice he came down like four separate times. So everyone else came down like once. One person may have came down twice.
Did Anne come down ever?
And came
And
down,
came down, yeah.
during my watch, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Well, time to go tackle Northville and search him for sure.
Oh, it's like, wait, why are you tackling him? That
Well, I'm not doing it. It's not
Oh,
going to be
okay.
very effective if I do it.
no, it wouldn't be.
So yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the blacksmith and see if he's got any stolen weapons
Um,
anywhere in his inventory.
he will check his inventory and see if anything is out of place or something that shouldn't be there.
or sold to him.
Nothing was. Those 2 items were not sold to him within the last day. No.
So does our inventory only count the items that they're selling, or like does it count like their literal personal effects?
What they have.
Only what's in the wagon.
Yeah, like their personal effects are like with them, or like on them, or in their
Yeah.
room, or so. They
Doesn't
don't.
count
This
as
is like
inventory.
their store.
All right. At this point, I'll say Northville. Most people. Was anyone else here twice during the night?
Yeah, I think Collier popped down twice. Yeah.
Well,
Northville. Most
talk to them
people
too, real quick.
only came down once, maybe twice during the night. But you were reported 4 times down here. Why are you down here so often?
Check. Why it does.
Check a lot.
Seems a little suspicious that you are so often in and out of these wagons.
And he only ever checked his own wagon? Or is he checking all the wagons? 'Cause I imagine we would
I
have been
think we
watching
would
the
have been.
wagons.
We would have been like, "Why are you in a wagon that's not yours?" If they were doing that.
Yeah. So I'm imagining, like throughout the night, anyone who went in only went to their own wagons, or we would have stopped
You,
them and asked
you
them
would
where
have,
they would have
if you
gone
thought
in the
about it, he
wagon.
didn't seem like going in your wagons, but he definitely like looked at, like kind of like checked out the other wagons. Like you kind of see him like kind of like look underneath, kind of like poke a thing, and, or like walked over to the stitch job and it's like, no, that's still like stitched up and good to go. Yeah, so he kind of was everywhere. We didn't see him like trying to go in a wagon. That wasn't his own. To be safe. I mean, why else would I have been down there?
I don't know.
Well-
This is only an investigation about 2 stolen items, so.
Someone was stolen?
In the name
Can,
of.
can I have a clarification? What
Sure.
was our actual job?
To try to prevent stuff from getting stolen.
And so
and
far, 2 things have been
figure
stolen.
out how they're getting stolen.
Okay, so it's not an escort mission.
No.
It is to well, it's
It
to
is
prevent
because
things
we have to
getting
protect
stolen.
all the stuff from getting stolen, so that's
Yeah.
that part. There's also the investigative part.
Okay, I was
Oh.
like, if we were just on an escort mission, I would have just said, "Fuck, it's not a problem."
Oh,
At
No, if
this
this
point,
was just an escort mission, I'd be sick right now. Luckily, there's another half,
yes, that
So-
was part
and
of
I'm
it.
actively pursuing that half.
Very much so.
at this point, I will tell Northville that it's like, all right, well, let's go check out all your stuff in your room and see what is in your personal belongings up there.
Okay, sure. Walk up there, search his room. You definitely don't find the 2 weapons, which I'm guessing is what you're looking for specifically, but nothing else really seems out of the norm. He seems very simple and plain.
Okay, since it was mentioned that he was poking around the exterior of the wagons, I'll see if just weirdly he stored anything underneath the wagon for later grabbing.
You go and you check all the wagons. It doesn't seem like it, no. At least nothing that was obvious, nothing like just tucked underneath or anything like that.
So there's only one entrance in. We watched that entrance the entire time. We only saw
We were
people
watching all the carts.
who.
People only went into their own carts. The closest one going into other people's carts was this guy, but he only went 2 other carts, and he's clean so far as we can tell.
Yep. And Bumble
No place to hide
confirms-
these items on his person. No
Nope.
place hidden in his own personal effects.
And no extra dimensional spaces anywhere in any of the cards or any people's personal items.
Correct. And they're not hiding them on the carts.
Who's a inventory? Let's do inventory again and keep going.
I mean, we could also check Kuth's personal belongings also.
Well, I'm assuming that if someone's stashing them, they're going to
This
grab them
point-
and get them back in the
At
wagons.
this point, we should check everybody's personal, because
Let's do that on the road, though, so that nobody can stash anything in a room or in an abandoned alleyway in a barrel. Like, there's too much space to hide stuff in town.
Well, I imagine we keep 7 in here, pull 1 out, come back, grab
I'm talking
another
about
one.
the stuff that's already gone. They could have stashed those 2 stolen items literally anywhere in town, and then conveniently before we leave town, go acquire them again, or leave them in town. So I think that while we're in town, searching anybody's not going to be viable because there's just too many places to hide it. Someone could have torn up a floorboard in their room and just put them under there, and then fixed it. Put the bookshelf or whatever back. There's too many spaces to search in town. Because whoever's doing this is good. They avoided, what was there, like 2, 4, 6, 8? So there's 8 people in this caravan, and they avoided everybody else
this whole time,
this entire time of varying skill sets, all of which should have perception and be very good at, have a good eye for things, because they buy and sell things, detecting forgeries, that kind of stuff. That's usually perception.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this job sucks. It's brutal. So yeah, we have no leads. You can call out every single person individually. That's what you want to do, but I think that the items aren't going to be on them.
Okay.
If they're good enough to avoid this for a month, that seems foolish. We can go ahead and try again.
Yeah, we'll search for stuff on the road then.
I just think that's
Sure. Yeah.
there's
let's
less
do it.
room to hide it. That's my point.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we wait till we get on the road again, and then
Okay.
we do inventory searches of every single caravan, every single person, twice.
Nothing else seems to have gone missing. The 2 items in question do not pop up anywhere. So either they could have been left or something along those lines. Yeah. Do
Either
not seem to
someone
be
stashed $600-700 worth of goods in a random town. I guess in a regular town.
In a town that
in
they knew they
regular
were going
stuff.
to.
Yeah.
Like there could be an accomplice.
If they have outside help, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, this is the mission we can't solve. The game's over. Outside help is too many variables. There's, it's just not something we can figure out. Especially if they're only offloading. Well, they said they didn't have stuff stolen when they stopped. It was only on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have an anomaly.
That's true.
The
This
whole
is the
pattern
first
has
time.
changed.
That was just a stop while they were traveling. Not she was more referring to when they stay in town for a day or 2 to do business and stuff like that.
Oh.
So this would be considered as part of the travel.
So there was no pattern throughout the entire month of any time things were stolen or not stolen. It wasn't when they started. Like, were things stolen more while they stopped in a town versus out in the wilderness, or did it literally never matter where they were? Things were getting stolen no matter what.
They weren't able to pinpoint exactly when it happened. This is the closest they've gone to it because they've never been this thorough like this. At least not as a group. So, if so, they never picked up on it.
Cool. So we're just gonna keep going, doing inventory searches as many times a day as we need to, checking every single person. There's nothing else we can do.
Yep.
And if we get to the end of the destination, be like, sorry, we not good enough.
Yep. And I'll be sick for a day, and I'll get over it.
Yep.
And like.
So yeah, that is our
Move on.
entire game plan, is to do inventory.
Yeah, if this fails and we get to our destination and they go, well, here's what I suggest: all 7 or all 8 of you split up, find new people. Your stuff won't get stolen. Have fun.
If your stuff's getting stolen with this group, then it's no longer safe for you. Fuck off.
They have, as through conversation, some of them have definitely considered it. They did not think it was quite necessary yet, but they have definitely considered it.
Someone
Especially
just
the
lost
gnome.
like $600 worth of stuff. So
That's a
at
magic
this
fuck ton of
point,
stuff.
That's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, continuing onward, though, with this, they will reach the town they are going to by the end of the day.
Okay.
Leaving, going on the way, like I mentioned, things haven't changed during this. No, the check of inventory, those 2 missing items have not popped up. But during the travel here, normally you go through, they cross a small river. But when they come up to the river, it actually is a little more flooded than normal, so the carts actually can't get through it. Luckily, they know that if they travel upstream a ways, there is a pond. On the other side of the pond, there always is a thinner part that not as much water gets through, so they can travel through that way.
So we take a detour.
Adds a couple hours.
Okay.
We all get dysentery from the pond and die. Welcome to the Oregon Trail.
Oh gosh. Thank you, Oregon Trail.
Better than ninjas.
I thought this was just a hunting simulator.
Nope.
Apparently, it's more advanced than that. As you guys are going through this detour, which some are complaining this is dumb, why is it this way, this shouldn't be happening, blah blah blah, this is probably another setup like the broken wagon, yada yada yada.
I will calmly and collectively, by that I mean I'm barely holding back punches to the face, point out how fucking idiotic it is to ever assume that an overflown river is the fault of a fucking thief. Because if that's your thief, you're all fucked. I spent far too long with these assholes.
It's most of the gnome, by the way, if you didn't know already.
Oh,
Just
yeah, I know.
the chain could just. Oh, it's unhooked. Oh no, I'm sorry, my pet killed you. So unfortunate.
That killed you.
Let's just sell your whole wagon with this oblige to bring you back to life, you asshole.
Oh wait, I go up to the gnome and I pull the rod out of his ass and see if that's the missing short sword.
We found it.
We found it.
It was actually an immovable rod. This whole time.
It's like, oh, thank goodness. You just suddenly become so calm and collected. No. That's funny.
So we carry on through our detour all the way to town.
Carry on through the detour. Out of curiosity, you guys basically doing the same places of where you are in the caravan?
Yep.
I'll be in Ann's, you'll be in Meerman's, and you'll be in
Scouting.
The scouting, and you'll be the last one.
Peter's.
Yeah, the last one / outside in the back.
Yep.
Yeah. You definitely are getting rather irritated in that cart though with Northill.
I
Yes,
asked
he's,
Anne on more than one occasion if I can just put him to sleep. It'll be better for everybody.
She politely asks that you don't, as he's antsy still.
Got a good home remedy for that one.
Especially as soon as you guys went on a detour, he definitely did not seem to like that. Maybe it's because he means he's sitting next to you longer, which he feels that unease with.
Just to vent some frustration, because I imagine the gnome boy is just still chattering on. I'm gonna lean into Northill's ear and I'm gonna whisper, "If it turns out that you're the thief, pray to God you find the authorities first."
You don't need a perception check to see his face go like basically white at that.
But does he need a sense motive check for it?
If he wants to.
I rolled a 4.
You you kind of feel like that's a little sus, as he while he's still antsy is suddenly like legitimately like scared now. Good. As you go, as Anne mentions, it's like, hey, we're getting close to the bend where we can actually cross the river now. He starts to get like I guess for lack of a better term, fidgety, as he's kind of like paranoid and like looking around.
I'm gonna just very calmly and just rest my hand on the back of his neck. It's okay, buddy. We'll be fine, right? Just give a nice light squeeze. Everything's gonna be okay. Right. Mm-hmm. No.
What?
No?
What?
Not okay?
It'll be okay.
Just tighten a little more.
It'll be okay.
Are you sure?
No, don't. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ann, does he usually act like this? Because I feel like if I yell right now, he'll shit himself.
He definitely has not taken this last month well. It seems to have only escalated the more it's gone.
Weird.
That's so weird. He seems so worried about these thieves. Aren't you, buddy?
Why wouldn't I be?
So worried about these break-ins.
Of course.
I'd be awful mad about not getting anything so far, huh?
Well, what? Two
Might-
things stolen?
Might take it out on you, huh? You know, for failing to do your job right.
No.
Yeah, I think they
No.
would.
No. What are you implying?
You're gonna need someone to protect you, right?
What?
From these scary people.
Why would I be a threat?
Yeah. 'Cause you fucked up. I didn't say you were a threat. I just said you fucked up.
No. It's nothing's gone wrong.
A lot of things have gone wrong.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Who are you talking to, buddy?
No one. You.
Uh-huh. And
Yes.
are there ways to talk to people without actually saying things like with spells and stuff?
Oh, well, of course, I'm not the right person to ask, but I'm sure that definitely exists.
Okay, little buddy, we're gonna talk to a magic person for a little while.
Okay. I pictured him getting picked up.
I'm gonna go over to Mr. Bumble.
So yeah, I guess of our group, yes.
I'm going to Mr. Bumble. So, a friend here has been acting real flighty.
Oh,
He
yeah?
keeps randomly answering questions that I didn't ask with yeses and nos.
Weird.
He got real nervous when everything got kerfuffled. We had to take a detour.
Weird.
Uh-huh. And Anne says he's been acting real weird for about a month.
Huh?
Yeah. Also, I'd let him know what's going to happen if I find out that he's involved with this thievery. And he got a little uncomfortable.
Okay,
say
so
the least.
on that note, like if you had looked at me and said what you said, even I would probably feel a little bit nauseous.
Yeah, he wasn't just nauseous.
Everything up until that point, though, was pretty sus. But no, that part just makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Just a little bit.
Oh no, he tried to stab me, and now there's two of him. But
What?
yeah, is there any way to talk to somebody without being next to them?
I mean, yeah. I mean, through magical means, you can either cast a simple spell like Message, where you kind of just whisper the words. It's pretty close proximity sort of a thing, so we could probably see the person he was talking to if that were the case. But then there's also like with higher levels of magic, one could cast. I believe the spell is called Sending. And that one can send a message just about anywhere you damn well want.
So let's hope it's not that one. One's real far.
There's like I think there's like a higher level message that kind of sends it through the wind that can go for miles, but it's got its own limits.
So, friend, would you happen to know which of these magic doodahs is whistling in your ear?
Why do you think something was whistling in my ear?
I'm just looking. I'm gonna get down, crouch down. If I have to listen to that gnome for much longer, someone is going to die. Please answer my questions with answers and not more questions.
you think you act bad? You should be like sitting right next to him the whole time. He's like trying to have a conversation with me about all these things. Like, oh god, guy's a moron.
I'd be going to jail for assault.
You two, give me perception.
Woo. That one, so I got an 8.
12, so I got a 13.
You're real close to him. You're like, I imagine like at least that close to him kind of thing. As he's kind of like staring, like trying to not make eye contact with you. You almost hear like a whisper,
It's the whisper one.
like right there.
I'm gonna punch it.
You just punch the air next to him.
Yep.
That's not how that works.
Grab my hair in his head. It's the whisper one. Now who is it?
I don't know if I can tell you.
You don't know you can tell us, or you don't know if you want to tell us, because those are two different statements.
There's consequences if I.
Well, there's going to be consequences if you don't tell us.
I accidentally signed something I shouldn't.
I'm gonna open hand right across his face.
Perception check. Did I hear that slap so I could come back to
If you
base?
didn't hear the slap, you heard his like
Whale.
wail afterwards.
Oh, I'm holding him by the hair too, so hopefully he's not going down there. Otherwise, he's gonna be bald for a while.
So there's a big old handprint about like at least this much of his face.
Right, yeah.
Hey, roll me a D4 plus your strength. I'm curious how much subdual you just gave him.
Pew. Yeah, there. 3 plus 5? 8?
Ow! It's a good thing he has more than one hit die. I think I gave him level 3, so that hurt.
Yeah, 5. I don't look at him. It's an open palm. So maybe go back to the cart. Where I left my axe. Who'd you just tell that you said something you shouldn't have?
Borrow the dagger if you want.
Ooh, pointy stabby. I'm gonna pretend you're the gnome. Unless you tell me who you were talking to.
I met a stranger about a month ago. He came up to me and told me I could get better at my trade and be a better merchant in ways that my cousin wouldn't tell me if I signed the paper, and I didn't realize what I signed. So I signed the paper, and now I don't think I can actually tell you what the contract actually says, because he said if I say it, that violates the contract, and then I get double and stuff.
Okay, we're gonna go tell all this to Annie.
Can I roll religion?
So contracts and stuff like that are actually linguistics.
To know the contracts exist?
Oh, I guess what are you looking
19
for?
I wanna
linguistics.
Right now I'm trying to figure out if my character knows this is a devil contract. Because, Mitch, this
Oh.
sounds a lot like a devil contract, but, like...
So
19
This
linguistics. Don't know any contracts that could be
could
this
be
binding.
a devil contract. This could just be some other sort of magical contract that those who deal with devils could easily use.
DC 19 linguistics. Right, I've rolled the 19 linguistics.
He's accidentally signed himself into something that he didn't realize what he was signing himself into. And he's about to beat himself,
Okay,
if he hasn't already.
We're gonna go tell Annie all of this.
Yep. Mystery solved. All you gotta do is kick out this bum. And,
All we have to do is get him to tell us the whole contract,
that too.
and then he can go with
I
all of his fingers and toes.
can't
Well-
because that violates the contract and then consequences.
Hi, pretend my name's not Tormund, and my name is now Consequences. I'm gonna grab him by the nape of the neck, and we're gonna walk back to Annie.
I won't be here if I tell you. It would
You
send me to
you poof off. Yeah,
her.
you poof off, or you stay here, and you don't tell us, and then you still have consequences. So we're gonna go talk to Annie, and I march him up to the front of the wagon.
Hi.
Say the words that you're allowed to say.
I signed a paper I shouldn't have, and
Contract. All the words.
And she basically just stops the caravan right there. It's like, all right.
So we're pretty sure he has something, if not everything, to do with the stolen stuff.
Yeah. But if he tells us he goes off to a lady,
If I tell you what it is in the agreement, yes.
he poof poof to a lady.
So she starts off, so where are the two weapons? Hiding at the inn. Unless she grabbed them already. But no, I didn't tell her where they were yet, so she couldn't grab them already. So they're hiding at the inn.
Are there any consequences to you not telling her where they are?
No.
Then don't.
Guilty.
Okay.
Okay. Eventually one of us will double back. We'll get them. You're gonna tell us.
They're here. In some place that I'm now describing to you.
Okay. And
Great.
how do we find her?
She's probably here.
Like right here?
But like,
Like, close.
can we see her, or is she like hiding?
She's probably hiding.
Like magic hiding, or like regular hiding?
It could be either.
Can anybody reveal people who are magically hiding?
I do not have
She
any.
usually doesn't bother. Because I don't think she can do it the most. She's...
Is she a person, or is she a not
She's
from
a
here?
cleric of Asmodeus.
Oh.
It's...
Oh.
Well, there goes my stab her with a knife and see if she bleeds concept.
Well,
She probably would bleed.
Yeah, but if she was from a not here, sometimes they're resistant to things, and if you just poke them a little bit, they don't bleed.
Oh, that's what you mean.
How's it going?
Okay.
My mom taught me that one.
Cleric of Asmodeus? That makes sense.
We got one right here.
Well, I'm not cleric.
It kind of
I'll
looks like a
reveal
holy
my
symbol.
my unholy symbol. I'll bring it out.
Who's your unholy symbol?
Asmodeus.
Oh, it is Asmodeus. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
I am a
You're
follower.
not her,
I am a
though.
follower
Okay.
of Asmodeus.
Just do a lap with that out and see what happens. Yeah.
Yes, that symbol.
Uh-huh.
She has.
And is she still a she, or is she is a he? Maybe.
She's a... She?
No, there's only two she's
What?
that are not hiding. We could just kill both of them.
Oh,
So are we going through like all forest the whole time?
4C terrain, yeah. Like right now you're on like a riverbank. To get up to...
So then we cross the river, then we turn around, and we wait for her to try and cross the river. Because if she's tailing us, she'll come
I feel
over.
like at this point, my plan is we tie this fool up. We do the same thing with him that we did with the brigands in the next town we're going to.
Yeah.
And then we wash our hands of this. The mystery is more or less solved.
But what if she just gets another person? Do this again.
Well, I really hope that we'll explain this to everybody, and I really hope that none of the other 7 fools here are
Take a
foolhardy
lucrative
enough.
deal to make more money? I would have done it.
I'm not getting much money for it.
Yeah, we tell them
Yeah.
that part.
That's because you're tiny and pathetic.
Thanks.
I'm definitely not. That's how that works.
Yeah, we would tell them all that part specifically to dissuade them from taking a similar
What'd she tell
path
you?
later.
She's laughing at me.
Of course she is. You're dumb.
I mean, yeah, he is pretty dumb,
You
but
don't,
also
you
we
don't
don't
just
care.
sign papers that you don't know what you're signing.
Yeah, I figured that out, okay?
Good.
Contracts are very
Hey,
powerful
and if we throw you in
business.
jail, you can just tell the jailer your contract, then you poof out of there.
Prison will be better than what she put me through, I'm sure.
Knowing some people, yeah, I'd imagine so.
I mean, no offense directly to Bumble, but Asmodeus is a pretty lame god. He's all hiding behind words and trickery. Pathetic.
I mean, power is power, my friend. If he can
You hear a whisper. Some would call that clever.
yeah.
And I call you a punk-ass bitch.
So you just hear someone call you a punk ass bitch.
Use the whisper words.
Yeah.
Who's a punk ass bitch?
You talk to me, dumbass.
Apparently, you're not that special. Good for you.
I could tell.
So yeah, tie him up, Carmen.
Okay. Hey, cleric lady, we're just gonna dump this idiot and fun following us.
We're gonna tie him up. We're gonna blindfold him. We're gonna just stick him in a random cart.
Yeah. No, we'll stick him in Anne's cart.
Alright, that seems
Right next to me.
Well, Anne is rather disappointed that being her little cousin, or I guess just cousin because half elf. But yeah, she can't really argue with it since he basically confessed to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You guys make it back to town. Seems like whoever this female is does not decide to show herself.
Because that would be a bad move, because she'd die.
And he ends up getting turned over to the authorities, and they get to figure that out.
Great.
Cool.
Yay!
We go back to... We immediately hitch a ride on somebody else's cart going back.
Yay!
Yep.
Like, this was annoying. You should have figured out the fidgety man who's been fidgety for a month was the bad guy.
Well, as you guys did point out, and as I was kind of trying to do, there was a couple people who were a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Like the two who literally have done shady craft and
Yeah,
more.
that's why we ignored those two.
That's fair.
Well,
I had a feeling that was going to happen.
That's why Mitch ignored those two. Because
It was too obvious.
too obvious. The
Oh,
corporate
it just
parents
didn't start a
was-
month ago, so I just didn't. If they've been with you for a while and that just started, then it's obviously not the problem. All right, good night, everybody.
I'm
Good
gonna go
night.
bed. See you next year. Bye.
See you next year.